Good morning, everybody. Hello all. Hello, jewellery makers. Hello, crafters in general. How are you all? My name is Rebecca Redican and you are watching Jewellery Maker. It is Tuesday already. Can you believe it? It's lovely to be back with you. I wasn't with you yesterday because I had an allergic reaction to something. So my eye sort of resembled a bit of a golf ball on a Sunday and Monday, which was lovely. It made for a very good Valentine's Day. I had a big swollen eye, I had hurt my knee, and I woke up on Sunday morning. My boyfriend said to me, "Are you trying to be a pirate today?" Because I had a big swollen closed up eye and I was hobbling along. So that was my Sunday. Oh, so romantic. But I'm feeling so much better today. It's wonderful to be with you, it truly is. And today I am joined by someone else who had a wonderful Valentine's Day. It is the lovely spellbinding Laura Binding.
Good morning.
Good morning, love. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Oh, how was your Val Day?
Yeah, my husband had a bad head and a migraine, so yeah, it was quiet.
It was a quiet, one. It was a very quiet one.
We're rearranging it, basically. We're rescheduling it for next week, I think.
Brilliant. I love that idea. How are you today, Spells?
I'm good.
Good. Now, I've got to say, if we're honest, you said to me this morning you had a bit of an issue with your kits.
I did, yeah. It was quite a big issue.
It was actually, wasn't it? And I've got to say, what Spelby's about to say, she absolutely said to me this morning, and I don't think I've ever heard you say this before. What was your issue with both of the kits?
I spent too much time on them. I found it too hard to stop working on them. It was one of those kits, well, both of them, where I actually just wanted to keep working and working and working, and to the point where you're going, I need to stop now because I've got other stuff, other kits I need to do. Yeah. But I just couldn't stop working on them. They're just lush. I really love them.
You found them so inspirational, didn't you? I've got to say, both of them very, very different today. You put up a sneaky peek about one of them today. Tell us a little bit about that first kit that the photo on your Facebook's from.
It's just, I just can't help but think of sort of, you know, sea and underwater and, you know, it's magical really. And that's why I was randomly texting you, like, what's your favourite sea creature?
Yes.
And so, yeah, I just thought I couldn't not do it with the stones that I had in the kit.
Yeah, it's just perfect. You have the chance to get your hands on those abalone and more as part of that kit. So very, very exciting treat for you. I've got so many goodies coming up for you today. I really do. I've got a very, very special gemstone, which I'm going to hold off on for now because I haven't actually received it yet. This is such a brand spanking new gemstone that actually yesterday when I was poorly and kind of was just looking out of one eye, Dion just messaged me like, "Have you heard of this gemstone? I'm so excited. I've just seen it. Please find out loads about it. I love it." So I've got that coming up for you in a little bit. But I've also got some really exceptional treats. I'm going to have to show you this wonderful, wonderful opal. Reason being, we've had great quality opal in of late, haven't we? Been really beautiful. Body of colour-wise has been quite transparent, very transparent in fact in some cases, with kind of almost a custard back tone. Do you know what I mean? But look at what I've got for you here today. Pure white background on most of these, and look at that quality. What do you think of that? To get that amount of quality of colour play, even in this light source, please bear in mind I'm not shadowing this from these bleachy lights above us because the lights in here, because they're not natural, they can kind of worry opal a little bit, not literally. It's not a scaredy cat gem, but it can kind of bleach out some of those colours. To be able to get that amount of colour is astonishing. And you know the quality of this is great because it's faceted. How often do we facet an opal, ladies and gentlemen? Hardly ever. Even some of the biggest stores in the world don't tend to facet their opal, but we have. Why? Because the quality is so great, we know that by faceting it, we're not going to be losing loads of that colour play because the quality is so epic. So that's coming up for you in a wee while indeed. I've also got for you some amazing tools and amazing pieces of kits coming up for you today too. I've got things like your bead along heads as well, which is phenomenal. That is sensational, isn't it, to get that? These are coming up for you in a little bit for your tool ends. These are your bead rounder. They're not. Wire rounders they are. They're coming up for you in a little bit, and I've got to say, these are pieces of tools that I know people have been asking for and waiting for. You know, your little electric tool that you use, these are perfect for your wire enders, and we don't tend to have kind of top-ups, so that's coming up for you in a little bit. And of course it is February, so I have got a sensational birthstone for all of us February babies coming up as well. Now I'm going to start off with a tool actually, if I may, because sometimes when you get extremely high-end gemstones such as this, or maybe even such as the opal I've got coming up for you in a little bit, you're going to need a little bit of extra space within there to be able to thread. So I've got a tool to get you started. It is oh so simple. It's one of those things that you look at and you go, that is so simple. How didn't I come up with that? Why didn't I think of that? Like when you're watching Dragon's Den. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. I've got one of these tools here today, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to make those high-end gemstones go further, work harder for you, and also be one of those high-end gems that you can use day in, day out. If you've never seen this before, let me talk you through it. It is your bead and pearl reamer, okay? So, if you want to have a little look at this, you've got the end there, which has got that kind of corkscrew detail on it, can you see? And that is super duper fine. It tapers ever so slightly, and it's obviously made of metal. Now, what that means is, if you've got a bead or a pearl that has maybe a drill hole that's not quite as sizable as you want for the likes of your wire, all you have to do is pop this in, turn it each way, and then you have the opportunity to make that hole slightly bigger. You can see it's absolutely outlined here. I mean, how easy is that it can show you in photographs in 3 steps? And one step looks like, hold it. And then look at it, it's done. It's beautiful smoothness it gives you. It means that if you've got maybe you've got a design in mind and you think, oh, I really want to do this with 0.4, but I don't think those gemstones are going to get on a 0.4. These are going to help you do that. One little tip for me would be, in particular, if you're using it on a pearl, if you do it from each side and then just make sure that you're blowing out any of that excess pearl dust, then that'll make it really easy to use. It's metal, so it's lasting. It's got the wooden handle, which is beautiful in length and really soft against the hand, so you can use it over and over again. It's simple to use, it's easy peasy, and at this price point, it's going to make those gemstones that you've been looking at for ages and ages and ages. It's going to really, really help you kind of get to grips with some of those gemstones that you haven't worked every single day. So it's just wonderful for you to be able to work with. It really is. £4.95, ladies and gentlemen. What a great way to make your gemstones to go further and further and further. It really is sensational. Spelby, what you doing? Making notes? Yeah, I like that. What do you think of this bead reamer?
Well, it's really cool, isn't it? And it's exactly what you need. It's a handy little tool just to carry around with you, because it's not going to take a lot of space up either. Yeah. And, you know, well, the tools that we carry around with us. Yeah. You know, you just need them all the time for every little thing that you might be doing. So it's just essential.
It's a great one to get your hands on. It really, really is. Feel free to message us in today, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I've not seen you in forever and a week. It's only been 4 days, but not the point. I feel like it's been forever. Message us in. What have you been up to? 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio. What did you get up to on Valentine's Day? Did you get any nice gifts? You were telling me earlier about how a few years ago you got scared on Valentine's Day, didn't you? Yeah. Tell us, please.
See,
you should never tell me things off screen, basically.
I know, I'm silly. No, basically, it was like when me and Tony first started going back out together, so it was like 13, 14 years ago. And as a surprise, you know, in a new relationship, so you get like this great big teddy bear. But my husband decided to put it, we lived in a flat, in an upstairs house flat. And so he put it on the toilet. So I've come home from work and I was like, oh, I need to go to the toilet. I opened it up and it was dark and it just scared me. It was a giant teddy bear. Just not expecting to
just sat on the toilet.
But the thing is, you just see the shadow when you come in, because you open the door and you just see the shadow. It just scares me.
Why is this strange thing sat on my toilet? Brilliant. Do feel free to keep your messages No problem, pal. Oh, it's my fake presenter, Dash Designer Team. Hurrah! Good to see you feeling better. Oh, Sarah, that's so lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I couldn't come in yesterday. I think I would have scared half of you to death, really. It didn't look the best.
A selfie.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a selfie. Yeah, thanks for the support, pal. Well done to everyone who's getting this. Now, this is perfect for making those gemstones slightly larger on the drill hole. And now, I promised you, now we promised this sort of on Thursday, I think it was, wasn't it? That we would bring these to you this week, and we're bringing them to you today. Do you have the battery-powered kind of bead reamer, but also the kind of wire rounder tool? Do you know what I mean? It's the blue one that we've got. We brought it to you on Thursday. We brought it to you a few times before though. If you have got this, these are a piece of kit to go with that tool. Take a little look. It's so, so simple. So with that blue piece of kit, and actually if I show you the back of these ones, it might refresh the memory as to exactly what piece of kit I'm talking about. It's that one there, the blue one. What you do is you put in the metal section that you get with the original tool, and then you basically just pop one of these heads in. And when you press this button on the tool, which you can see there, it makes the tip of this go round and round and round. And what you'll be able to see is you've got different gauges for different wires. So you can use this with 3 to 4 different types of wires. And what you can see here is exactly what it does to the wire. Starts off like this when you've snipped it. Even with a flush cutter, it won't always snip perfectly. In fact, one side will be slightly tapered. And all you have to do, literally a few seconds with this in that tool, it rounds it off and keeps it beautiful and smooth. So that means it's not going to do any of the following as easily. Catch on your clothes. It's not going to scratch your skin. It's not going to butt up against another gemstone that's maybe next to it, and then you end with a little bit of a kind of scratching or scathing on the surface of that gemstone, diminishing its appearance. It's going to make some of your jewellery more wearable, more durable, and of course, more kind of fun and more confident if you are going to be selling these pieces, because the last thing we want is to be a little bit is my customer going to love and enjoy wearing that? So it gives you confidence as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I've now got 51 of these, your price point today for your rounder tips. £14.95 boys, and that is for all three. Now these are going to do minimum of your 3 different gauges. You will be able to use these on different gauges as well though, even on the likes of your thicker wire. I mean, this one at the end here you can use on your 2mm wire. Rounder tips, sorry, why can't I say rounder? Rounder. I wasn't, when I played rounders, we weren't allowed to use a rounders ball and bat, because I was in the lower set of PE. So I used to do it with a tennis racket and a tennis ball.
Technically count as rounders then, doesn't
well, I don't know. It didn't matter whether or not you hit it. All the fielders were just doing cartwheels in the background anyway. No one was actually paying that much attention, I'll be honest. I wasn't in the top class for PE. Rounder tips we've got here. What do you think of these spells?
Again, they're really great. Like you say, if you do like to make everything handcrafted, if you like to make clasps, earring findings, you know, we've been doing quite a bit of sterling silver wire lately. So to make your own sterling silver earring findings, you're then able to just make that tiny bit more professional by just taking that edge off and making it nice and smooth. And you've got that assurance then, if you do sell or give us a gift, that it's not going to have any sharp edges.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Andrew, saying good morning, lovely ladies. What a lovely start to my jewellery maker day. Two goddesses. Of the small screen. Hope your knee gets better, Becky, and your hubby, Laura.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. That's really nice. Thank you very much. I'm sure my knee will feel better. I was saying to Spelby before, it's like when you're a kid and you graze it. I haven't grazed my knee since I was about 6.
But that's what I said to you, isn't it? Like the amount of time, well, you wouldn't know. Obviously, you do. You work with children. I mean, I've got my kids. When they fall over, they graze the knee. You're always like, oh, get up. Okay, it's fine. We'll rub it. You're fine. fine, be brave, be brave. It hurts.
Yeah,
you don't
it does.
realise until you fall over again as an adult.
No.
How much it hurts.
Yeah, and I am such a wuss. I was like that, I can't look at it, I can't look at it. Like, oh, is there gravel in it?
It needs to be cleaned, but don't touch it.
Yeah. I'm absolutely fine though. It's only small. Just a what? $14.95 for you today on the 3 of these tools. And just to let you all know, you can use it on the likes of earring wires, and also to let you know the gauges on this it's describing is around about a 0.8 up to a 2.1 mil on your wire approximately. Hardly any of those ones left at all, literally handful. £14.95. Good work to you all. How do you fancy some ribbon? We're going to bring you some honey ribbon. That sounds like someone's name, sort of. I've got for you here a really, really beautiful honey-coloured wire. Well, it's kind of it's almost like a vintagey gold. Take a look at this. Oh, wow. Hasn't that got a wonderful sheen to it in the centre? I feel like we haven't seen this stuff in absolutely ages. If you've not seen it before, what exactly is it? Well, it is a wire, as you can probably see and tell. So it has got a beautiful feel to it, and it has got a memory there, as you can see. What we have is this really intricate detail at the top, very similar to that of possibly a Viking knit look. And then it has these beautiful kind of lengths in between it that just give you, when you say apply a twist, a stunning shine. It's just a beautiful look. You're getting gauge-wise 20 mil is your size on this one, and the length is 24 inches that you have with it. It's a really interesting medium, and I've seen loads of guest designers work with it, but I feel like we've not seen it for a while.
No, it's been quite a while. I think I've seen it on the odd show, but yeah, it's definitely been a long time. It is a brilliant medium. It's something that you can just sort of really play about with. You can keep it plain as it is. You can twist it. You can fold it over itself as well, and those twists will stay in place.
Love that.
They're really good if you like, you're working with your cabochons. I remember doing a cuff and just netting, because there's a pre-made back. So you can still then just use the back as a base for your cabochon and just net or whatever you want around it.
That's clever. If I did want to, say, make a bracelet with this, really simply, how would I use this in the ends? Would I use cord ends with it?
Yeah. I mean, we do the ribbon end findings, don't we? The wider ones.
Yeah.
And they fit it perfectly, and you just finish it as you would a standard ribbon, really.
Yeah. So if I just wanted to do a very simple look and detail like that, just do it with a ribbon ending.
Yeah, definitely. And again, as I said, if you folded it like that and folded it into, what I tend to do is like put your thumb in and fold it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it will hold its shape
Like
if you
that?
twist it. Yeah, so.
Like that. No? Be honest. I've done it wrong, haven't I? Well, you could do a zigzag, like in that technique.
But no, that is, yeah, you just kind of fold it over again.
Oh, I've given up on that idea,
give up on it, but basically it works. Okay.
But, Rose.
Yeah.
Hello. Look at that.
Yeah.
£14.95 for you today. Has always been the price. We've always done this as an individual at £14.95. I remember us launching this about a year ago. Whoa, Nelly, £7. Sorry, Dion, I did not mean to call you Nelly then. £7.95 for you on this collection. Now, I've got to say, that is brilliant, because think about the amount of wire that's gone into creating this. There is a lot of wire in this.
Yeah.
And actually, well, I most certainly couldn't, well, I wouldn't know where to start if I could even make this with wire.
No, and again, if you can cost effectively reproduce that yourself if you wanted to. And to be fair, I don't really see why, if you've got it ready made for you, you would want to. It's also really good for caging cabochons in as well, because you can kind of basket hold them. You can fold the wire around it and it will hold the cabochons in.
That's a fab idea. Love that idea. Just thinking, we were talking earlier about 1920s-esque, something like this with a little bit of a feather in it.
Yeah, feather, or maybe another, like a rose, if you've got like an antique bronzy kind of colour.
Yes.
One, you can make a rose out, or the mesh. Team it up with that.
Yes, team it up with a mesh, team it up doing the big flower meshes in like a, oh, I love that idea. Hey, we're on a roll today already, spells. At £7.95, never seen it individually taken down in price before in my memory. And like I say, I've not seen in a very long time. Do you fancy a real quick little number right here, right now? 10 of these available, that's it. Once it's gone, as they say, it is gone. Oh, I love it. this. Okay, everyone, get yourself on the phone if you want a really beautiful, it's a bracelet. It's really beautiful. I've got 10 and I know this is gonna go super-duper quick. Stay. Oh, never ever been by itself before. This is a tanzanite bracelet. Now, it's not gonna stay where I'm telling it to, but use your imagination, ladies and gents. How adorable is that? Now, it is obviously going to fall out at any point now, but you know me, like to play it on the edge, don't I? Look at that stunning piece. You've got the opportunity to put your one tanzanite in there, and then that is your bracelet design. Look, how cute is that? So just imagine your tanzanite in there for me. Oh my gosh, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 of you with it in your baskets. Come on in, get it whilst you can. You are having a giraffe. £17.95. That is absolutely silly-sational. I don't know. I don't know. Sensationally silly. Silly-sational.
I quite like silly-sational. I really like silly-sational.
That could actually be a proper band.
Yeah, it's cool.
I can't get over that. Well done to every single one of you. That is phenomenal. I can't get over that. Well done to every single one of you. That is absolutely loop-de-loop. The amount of people with it in their baskets is skyrocketing. I've got to move on. Fastest finger first. Check out, check out, check out, check out. Okay, I want to show you now, if I may, really beautiful rose gold chain here. Wait, hang on. What did you say? Oh, I love this as well. It's opal. Oh my gosh, you've got to come and see this, Spells.
Let me come over.
Yes, please. Get my head out of shot, sorry. Now, it's so hard for you to see any colour play, but look, Spell.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
That is so pretty.
In rose gold.
That is beautiful.
Do you love that?
I do love that.
Can you see? Oh, look at all the pinks over here. There's loads. Oh my gosh, greens are coming in now. You've got some reds in there, one of the rarest colours that there is. One of the rarest colours that there is of opalescence. Oh, I absolutely love this. That is stunning. Ladies and gentlemen, can I be straight with you? It doesn't look that great on camera to you, but I've got to say it is better in real life. Especially when I've taken out of these lights. It is much better in real life. Oh, I really like that. Okay, that's coming up for you in a little bit. It's coming up as a star buy for you, so do stay tuned. But first, it's the kit time. Can I ask you something? Spelby messaged me the other day. Was it on Valentine's Day or the day before?
No, to be fair, it was on the Saturday night. You answered me on a Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yes.
Spelby messaged me saying, what's your favourite sea creature? What's your favourite? What's your favourite, Kerry? You don't know. As if you don't think about that every day, Kerry. I do. Dion says dolphin. Yeah. Love a dolphin. Ollie? Ollie, my director, saying octopus. Kerry, tech up. Have you thought yet? You don't know. Cass! Yours is a dolphin as well. Hello, Cass. There she is, lovely Cass, back from Paris. Oh, she had a très romantique time. I don't actually know why anyone's laughing, because I think I sounded properly French then. My favourite, a narwhal. So we've got a narwhal in this creation. I'm so excited. You're right there, Cass. She's just laughing at me. All right. I've got for you here this wonderful kit. And I've got to say, it is just so inspiring to look at, isn't it, Spell?
It is. It's beautiful.
If you don't know exactly what a kit is, what is it? Okay, it's essentially different components that get sent out to our wonderful guest designers a week or two in advance. They get to make whatever they like with it, and then they do a demonstration. We are going to be demonstrating one of our sea-themed creature necklaces this morning. I've got for you, as you can see, that absolutely spangling example. Let me show to you here. 100 meters worth of your 0.4. I've also got 10 meters worth of your 1 mil. And then this gemstone that I got out for you, I just needed you to look at that. It's a Mystic Blue Spinel. So what we've got here is we've got that beautiful body base of the black spinel, and then you've got that mystic blue over the top. Very much the same type of coating you might imagine to see on the likes of a mystic topaz, for example. This is just delectable, and doesn't it give that almost, well, very under the sea, very almost peacock-like look, which I just think is so mystical. I mean, look at that. That is such a wearable gemstone as well, I've got to say, because it is dainty, but it gives you bang for the buck, doesn't it? 2x1 on these ones approximately, and a big lengthy strand, 29 centimetres. I'm then going to bring to you the pearls, and these are just so dainty. The quality of them is beautiful. When you have a look at these, you can see that smoothness, can't you? In fact, you can see the smoothness so much that the light strides down these in exactly the same manner on each. It doesn't go that the light bands here and then here and then here and all over the place. That goes to show you the luster point on these is exceptional. And don't forget for me, when we talk about luster, we're talking about the way the light interacts on the surface. But also, when we talk about luster, we're talking about one of the key factors that evaluator will look for in a pearl. So obviously, different types of pearls, such as biwa, don't count. But on these types of pearls that you will get with a potato pearl or a rice pearl, that is one of the things they will look for, that smoothness of luster. And I can tell you what, these absolutely have them. Beautiful. To myself, I'd be saying AA grade approximately on those ones, so a great quality. And then last but by no means least, I am so excited to show you this, because I've never got the chance to bring you a strand like this before. I've brought you the flat abalone, but never ones like this. They are inspiring. Take a little look. Isn't it amazing that Mother Nature offers us this? These are your abalone large shells, and they are up to a 26 by 18 mil that we've got on these. Can you see how they're domed? You see how they're almost representative of the mollusk or shell that they're actually from? They've got a beautiful appearance to them. I love that they're not just flat, because the light naturally therefore curves along them even more. You don't just get one span or one pin of it. It is just sensational. And yet again, ladies and gentlemen, we have done this front and back. Now I just want to mention to you that it's so much harder to do this type of shape front to back. Think of it this way. If you're gluing two pieces of wood together, say, you're going to glue them together. You've got one flat piece of wood, you've got another, lots of surface area there. But as soon as you start to work with two domed pieces of wood, you've got so much smaller surface area to actually glue. So it means that it's so much harder to do. It takes more time, effort and energy to do it. We do it for you though, and I tell you what, super duper security on those. They're just beautiful. They really are, and a gorgeous weight to them as well. So many of you flying in for this. You saw the names, I saw the names. There's loads of you already coming in for this. Let me just reiterate what we're getting. First things first, my old friend, 100 meters in 0.4 silver, one of our most popular gauges in one of our most popular amounts in one of our most popular colors. So already you know this kit's flying out the door. I've also got in here for you the 10 meters of the 1 mil, that stunning, sensational abalone up to a 26 by 18 in areas, the stunning smoothness of those pearls, and that wonderful mystic spinel. All of these unique and individual, and at this price point, an absolutely flabbergasting deal. That's why everyone's coming in for this, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear in mind for me that for the wire alone, you're looking at £14.95 on the wire alone. So that's half your price there. Meaning that actually for all of the rest of this, you're actually getting, again, just about, you know, the £15 mark for all of the rest of this. Now, when I've seen abalone strands like this before, I'm almost certain that they were around the £12.95 mark generally by themselves anyway. Spinel microfaceted I have brought to you at £14.95, not this strand specifically, but I have brought it to you at that price. And also for quality like this on the pearls, I mean, it is just a phenomenal deal. What do you think of that, Spells?
I just think it's amazing. And amount of wire that I've got left, you know, and I've done wire heavy pieces.
You really have.
And it just keeps going on and on and on. And like I said, it was something that I really enjoyed sitting down and working with this kit. It's something I'd love to just sit down at home and just make for myself.
Yeah.
Without having to leave it here.
Do not forget for me, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to be giving you free inspiration right now, which is why I'm heading over. But the names on this are going loop-de-loop. The people with it in their baskets, I'm totting up to near 20 now, actually, I'm being told. So please do check out those baskets whilst you have the opportunity to do so, because basically we only have a certain amount of quantity. So once that quantity is gone, it's gone. So you do have to call that number at the bottom of your screen, 0800 644 655, press option 1 to get through to our call centre, and just let them know it's what's on screen. What's it called again? We were trying to say it before, we both got it wrong. Should we try and say it together?
Okay.
She sells seashells. Nailed it.
Nothing again. No.
Nope. And if you do let them know the name of this and the code on this, you'll be able to add this to your order. You can get in touch on JewelleryMaker.com as well, of course. Hello to Maureen. She's saying, morning, ladies. I bought these last week. I've never seen so much pink in a shell. They are beautiful. And that is Maureen in the Gorgeous Knots. Hello, Maureen. Thank you for that. There is a lot of pink in them, isn't there? Very high quality colouring on these ones. Just beautiful. Kind of follows you around, that colour too, doesn't it? Tell us what you were kind of, why you couldn't put this down.
Just because I think it's one of those things that once you start getting ideas of what you can do with it. It was one of my kits that I would sit down and just play about anyway. You know, it's got my perfect combination of wires. It's got lovely accent stones and a focal stone. So it's a beautiful kit to start off with. And then I did the pendant on the very end that's completely unsea related first. And then the ring, which is unsea related. And I looked up the title and I was like, oh, seashell. Oh, and then I just started thinking. And then again, it makes me think of turtle shells with the shapes and the depth and the different textures. So I did the turtle necklace first, and then I was like, oh, what can I do for you? And that's why I text you.
Narwhal. I love the narwhal.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, and I went down from there, really.
And isn't it amazing that when you get an inspiring kit like this, it can just help you with kind of your inspiration and where you're going to go in a direction?
Well, this is it. I mean, I've had a couple of kits before. I've had the larger abalone cabochons where I've done a larger turtle with that, and I've also had the flatback cabochons, where I've done the shark, the mermaid, and the octopus, and all of those. So I was thinking about running out of sea creatures. So it was nice just to be able to do something a little bit different. I just really enjoyed it.
Did you ever think you'd be making a narwhal?
No, I didn't. It wasn't one that came to me.
No.
And I've had to Google search engine it. Images. And yeah, I told you what Tony said about it, didn't I?
Yeah. Said it looked like a swordfish.
I said, what do you think this is? He went, a swordfish. And I was
doesn't
like,
at all.
Look at it. But I don't think he's a lot of sea creature knowledge.
No. I love a good smiley narwhal. He's so cute.
But I just thought it was fun. It just goes to show that, you know, you can think of something and just adapt it into whatever you want it to be adapted into. And that's where I was kind of going with it, really.
And that's what we look for in a kit, isn't it? And that's definitely what you all look for, ladies and gentlemen, because there's so many of you treating yourself to this. It is absolutely astonishing because genuinely, I mean, you know, for one of these necklaces, Ollie's just asked, what kind of price point would you be thinking for? Say on the necklace of the turtles on, you've got so much abalone on there, you've got so much of that shell on there, there's a lot of work that goes into it, there's a story to it. How much would you be looking at selling something like that for?
Well, something like that one, you would have to be looking at a base price of about 50 and going upwards, because...
For one piece?
For one piece, because it did, and I mean, I'm quite quick at weaving, but because of the nature of the turtle, because of the fact that it's an enclosed... framing effect.
Yes.
You have got to take longer to actually weave it, and you have to plan out where you're going with it, and you have to keep tweaking it a little bit as well, so it's not something that, whereas if you're just weaving a long strip that you can just do quite quickly, you have to kind of plan it, and it does take a bit of time and effort to sort of get it right and tweak it and how you want it to. So yeah, you would have to look at it in that sort of view.
So £50–60 for that quality, for that workmanship and those gemstones is fantastic. And for free, you get inspiration. So we're going to learn how to create the kind of turtle look, aren't we?
We're just going to go for how we would create that frame initially and how I did the little mini turtles as well, which is just, you know. So what I'm going to do is, you were saying about the colours, about these being double-sided. For the earrings, I managed to find two that were quite similar. And on the back is one shade of colour, and on the front is another. So, you know, on the front I've chosen the pinkier colours, but on the back they're the more greeny type colours.
That's cool.
So it is something that you can definitely, if you're going to do anything like this, pair it up. If you intend to do earrings or anything, pick them out first. Look at your stones.
I like that, fab. Hey Sarah, she's saying, this message says everything all my previous messages regarding your designs have said, but OMG, narwhal, wowzers.
Oh, thank you.
Favourite sea creature of all time?
Okay,
Narwhal.
Thanks, Sarah.
Maureen says, these are big, big shells. Will wire wrap some. They are gorgeous, Maureen. Oh, I'm glad you've got them and I'm glad you're going to have fun with them, Maureen. If everyone else wants them, not many options left now.
Can also say that you can get a 1mm wire through, which I was quite surprised about, but it's a massive advantage when you're doing anything like this.
Of course, absolutely. Barbara's saying, morning ladies, I love the narwhal too. I think of it as the sea unicorn.
Do you know,
when
I was looking at all the images, the amount of images of one of those with a little unicorn inside to show that the little sort of horn is the unicorn horn.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, so
they can actually feel out of that, you know. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
They send kind of signals through it, and if they rub them together, it's a way of them kind of communicating.
Oh.
They do it if they're kind of feeling a bit low, need a bit of a cuddle.
Oh, that's so cute. Right, okay. So when you look at these stones, and it is quite important if you're doing any kind of project, just to look at your stones. And as I said, if you're thinking of doing something like, right, okay, I'm going to do a pair of earrings, find a pair that match size-wise and also pattern-wise. But if you have a look at some of them, their texture is slightly different. And this is what, if you look at these, see how they kind of almost have like a fan pattern on them?
Yeah, I see.
Can you see? So like that kind of pattern, whereas some of them are more just shiny like this.
Flat, yeah, I see.
And so I wanted this texture because this makes me think of the turtle shell with that kind of
mottle.
Yeah. So I deliberately chose like this one here, and obviously if you want to choose one of the larger ones for the focal, and again have a look. It's not important, but if you can find one that's got that feature, then obviously it helps. That would be right at the other end, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously. So I would look at them and think, right, okay, well there's my sort of 3. Now, I will be honest, initially it was just the main turtle, and then I was placing it down and I thought, oh, it looks like he's following, you know, and you think of them and you think of like Finding Nemo and they follow them. And so that's why I kind of found some slightly smaller ones. So, you know, it looks like they're all off following each other. That's what my mind was going. I don't know. Maybe I haven't had enough sleep. Okay. So once you've got your stone, what you want to do is create the frame, okay? And again, I go on the internet and I look up images of sea creatures or sea turtles, and then I can get an idea. You'll see cartoons, you'll see pictures, and you'll see one that you're drawn to, and I tend to keep my laptop up with that image so that I can refer back to that, okay? But you can draw if you want to, and I know whenever Claire does anything, like she might say to draw it, because what you have to think of is, my pad, so what you have to think of is where your wire is going to start and where it's going to finish.
I see.
Okay, so what you do is I'm going to sort of take your pencil and draw the whole of that shape and think, right, this is one piece of wire, how is it going to work? Or do I need to add extra wire in to give it dimension, okay?
Got you.
So if it helps you by doing that, then feel free to practice it until you're happy with that. You can also make it to scale.
Okay.
And then you can use it as almost like a template.
Got you.
Sorry. I'm just going to cut a length of wire, probably.
That's your 1mm.
Yeah, my 1mm wire, because it's the base wire. And it's going to be about just under, about 3/4 of a metre.
Yeah, approximately.
Yeah.
Approximately 46 centimetres.
Roughly. So I'm then just going to take, now I've used my Xuron flat nose pliers. Now it's not essential. The reason I chose these ones is because they're nice sharp angles, but they're slightly finer.
Got you.
Okay, but there's nothing to say that you don't use your standard. I mean, these aren't kit ones, but you know they're all JM pliers.
Fab.
Okay. The reason is, like I said, it gives me smaller angles.
Got you.
So I'm going to fold that wire into so that the ends are meeting. So I've got my centre point here, and this is I'm going to start off with the head. Okay, so remember that we're doing this on the side profile. So I just want to kind of get my pliers. Can you turn him towards me?
Yeah.
Just so that I can see him.
There
You know how it goes, but it's like, that's why you need that image in front of you, just so you can reference it. So I'm just gently forming it to a little point, and then again, just going in with my pliers and just moving that wire, just to kind of get that sort of movement, okay? So you get that sort of shape. Now you can go back and you can tweak this, so don't worry too much if it's not 100%, so you can kind of get it to look more how you want it to as you're going along. Okay, so what I want to do now is move down to his fins. Okay, so I'm just going to again place my pliers and bring this wire down. Okay, I want that to be quite a sharp sort of angle, and I'm just using my finger just to curve and get that shape of his fin. And again, put my pliers in and folding that wire back around. So you can see I'm just using my hands, I'm using my pliers to kind of like a vice, so I can put the pressure and really hold that wire securely, but then I can shape it with my hand. Okay?
Got you.
And then again, I'm just going to come back in again. And this is one where you have to kind of have a bit of faith, as at the moment it's not looking like very much. But you know, as long as you know where you're going. Now you can, if you want, work with one side and then work with the other, or you can, however you feel comfortable working with it.
Got you.
So if I'm thinking I want that shape and how am I going to bring this, I could then come over to here and think, well, I want to start forming the shell so I can get an idea of how I can bring it together.
I see.
So I'm just using your hand now. I can go back in here and make that a little bit more squarer, because turtles have got kind of like a squarish type head, haven't
They've got
they?
a little pudgy nose, haven't they?
Yeah, like a little snout. So again, and then what I want is just around about here where his shell's going to form.
Got you.
Okay, and again, this wire, because we folded it in half, this wire's already arching in the right direction,
Got you.
which means that I don't have to do very much to be able to get that shell effect.
Okay.
So I can see that's going to come across like that. So I can sort of see, because sometimes if you can't see the shape as you're making it, it can be a bit like
confusing.
Yeah, you might think, where am I going with this? Okay. Okay.
Morning, gorgeous ladies. Laura, you should have received your bronze chain at JM Towers. Becky, hope you haven't hidden it.
Oh, I haven't, but thank you. I will go and have a little look
in
the
a
show,
bit.
but thank you very much.
Sophie.
Thank you. I will message you if I've got it, or message me on Facebook if you don't mind, and then I can say thank you and sort it out. Okay, so again, just going a bit further down, just going for that sort of angles and getting that shape of that second flipper or whatever fin.
Yeah.
Okay, and sort of shape, and again, just use your pliers and just manipulate that wire. Okay, so you can start to see that shape taking shape there. Okay, so going down and then just getting that sharp angle, just bringing it down, and then again you just want to go for that other little fin.
Foot.
Foot.
Is it not a foot?
Foot flipper, I'm not quite sure.
Turtle feet.
Foot. Okay, and again I'm just using my pliers and getting sharp angles around, and then obviously we need to work out how we're going to end these wires, because I've got all my wires are here.
Yeah.
So I want to work this out now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to finish, and then I'm just going to use this to come down here and start to form the distinction of the shell.
Got you.
And then along here, so you can form that shape like this. So you can sort of see how it's forming now.
Yeah, I see.
And then along here, it kind of looks like his head's going down a bit. So if I want to re-straighten that, I can kind of just go into it. Yeah, I'm just tweaking it with my pliers a little bit, making it a little bit more. So see how just changing your pliers can just change that?
Yeah.
And then bringing this along and along, so that wire's going just across, so that's all the way across there. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of work it into here, wrap it
Gorgeous
around.
turtles, so cute,
Aw,
says Sophie.
thank you.
They are, aren't they? Just keep swimming. Was that a turtle? No?
Not sure.
That was who? Dory. Oh yeah, the bluefish.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously take a bit more time, but what I've done is I've just kind of hooked it around there. So I haven't wrapped it, it's just gone behind. And if you just use your pliers to kind of almost crimp it to the frame, and then bring the wire up there, trim it, and then what you can do is just with that edge, just create a little sort of loop, and that's where you can sit the small spinel to be the eye.
Love
okay,
that.
and then this bit here is just going to form the sort of the back and almost like the little tail. And again, you can then just use your pliers, fold it over, and then so now I can trim that, and then I'm just going to wrap. You would take a bit more time and make this a bit more neater, but that would just be wrapped around there to finish. Okay, so that would go a bit more like that. Then we were doing this in a bit of a rush, but you can get the idea.
Yeah, got you.
So it's kind of looking like that, and again, just trim it. Okay, and again, as you do this and work with it, it will change its shape. It looks a bit like a Ninja Turtle at the moment. But once you start placing the shell in, and again, make sure you get it in the right direction so that it's tapers. And then what you can then do is take your spinel, and when you start weaving it in is when you start to really get that character from it. And then what I did was just sort of wove in, just to sort of separate the shell a little bit, was just start to weave in the blue pearls, whoops, which are running everywhere. And then you can add some of them, and then you can just add the spinel as you're going, just to give a bit of sparkle. And what you then need to do, I mean, obviously I won't do all of it, is you just take some lengths of your 0.4 wire.
Of which you had 100 metres in the kit.
And you just do like a basket weave. So you have to wrap in sections though. So you'd have to do his foot here, and then maybe if you can weave it down to here, and then maybe you might be able to get that fin in there, and then you might have to then restart and do his. And then you do have to start in about 5 or 6 different sections and just fill in where you can.
Love that. Thank you so much. Sophie's just said, they look like the turtles from Finding Nemo. I expect them to say, hey, Jelly Man.
That is kind of what I was thinking.
Watching your tutorials.
Oh, thank you.
Well, funnily enough, my director, Ollie, and producer, Dion, were just talking about Finding Nemo, and apparently Finding Dory's coming out.
I know.
Whoa.
I'm super excited about
Sorry,
it.
did not expect that reaction.
I'm
my
really excited.
goodness.
Obviously, I've got children and they really want to go.
Yeah, well, Dion said, Finding Dory, do you mean Finding Nemo? And Ollie went, no, it's like the second one. And Dion went, oh, does that mean they found Nemo? Brilliant. They did find him, they did. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got so many names coming up there. These are people waiting for it with it in their baskets. 21 in baskets, I've just been told by my lovely producer, Dion. So you've got to come in and get this quickly as you can. Massive amount of goodies in there, including all of that wire. You had 110 metres worth of wire in one of our most popular colours, and those 3 stunning strands. So get them whilst you have the opportunity to do so at just $29.95. It's a huge price decrease we did on that, massive reduction on it. So do treat yourself to it whilst you can. It's just 16 opportunities left. How do you feel about having a little look at what everyone else is has been up to in making? Fancy it?
Sounds good.
Great. Let's do that. Wall of Fame. Thanks. Ooh,
oh, that's
good
nice.
photos. Hello everyone, we're here at the Wall of Fame. Now, what is the Wall of Fame? It's where you get to send in your pieces that you've created and made over the last few weeks, and then you get entered into a prize draw, completely free. Spells, do you want to start off, please?
I do. I really love this. I love the colours. And this is number 105. It says, hello all at JM. Oh. Here is my latest entry to the Wall of Fame, made with amethyst, green onyx and tanzanite beads and silver-plated wire and clasp, all from JM. Thanks for all the awesome deals so far this year. Good luck to all the others in the draw also. And that's Ellie in Barcelona. I love that. I met Ellie.
That's lush.
She made me one of those.
Thank you for sending that in. It's really pretty. 103. Look at this. Please find my entry to the Wall of Fame. It's a labradorite and silver spacer bead bracelet with a diamond heart pendant from your sister channel. I made it for my holiday to Mauritius. Oh, got loads of compliments. All components from JM. Love the show, and that is Colleen. Colleen, I think that is just fab. What a wonderful pairing. Yeah. And it looks like you got a bit of a tan as well. Jealous. It's gorgeous. Really, really nice. Love that. 103 is your number. Really pretty.
Okay, got number 106. And it says, hi ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the spring weather. Attached is a photo of a cuff and earrings which I made after looking back on some of Jan's makes from last year. This is made from memory wire and sky blue apatite, all from JM. And that's from Joanne O'Brien. Oh, that's lovely. Apatite's a beautiful colour as well.
That is just wonderful. Really, really beautiful indeed. Take a little look at this one because the colours on that is just phenomenal. Hi all at JewelleryMaker. Been a while since I've sent anything in to you. It's not been well. Oh, stopped me from purchasing. It hasn't stopped me from purchasing from you though. Here is what I've made: a 3-strand necklace with pink faceted shell, clear crackle quartz, and rondelles in rose gold plated decorative spacers. Extender chain, which would look beautiful. One as a backless dress. Oh, I like that. Loved making it and hope you like the end result. Good luck to all. And that is from Tracy. Thank you very much, Tracy, for sending that in. I love a kind of multi-stranded necklace. I think it's a really lovely amount of colours. 104 for you there.
And I've got number 102, and it says new Angelite, is that?
Yeah, that's right.
Angelite strand in use with shell pearls and amethyst, all from JM. Enjoy and have a nice day. From Phaser,
I guess. Yeah,
I hope I said that right. It's
you have sent in some makes before.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sending those in. We're going to have more of them coming up later, but before that, I need to bring you this chain, don't I? Are you getting ready? Are you getting geared up to get your hands on precious metals? Because this is going to go perfectly. So stand by. It's so warm in its look. It's just sensational. It really is. Are you getting ready and raring? Have we told everyone when the precious metal's coming up yet, or are we still not allowed to? It's been leaked, has it? You think it has? If you haven't been told yet, I'm about to let you know. Saturday, precious metal on Saturday is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get me wrong, we bring you sterling silver on occasions and we bring you beautiful pieces like this. If you want pure, real deal gold and the likes, then Saturday is your day. And I've got to say, this is going to go beautifully with it because it's got that rose gold colouring. Oh, I'm so excited to bring you all that precious metal. I really am. Oh, sorry. I think that's one of my dog hairs. I've got for you here a stunning 925 rose gold chain, and it's got this beautiful opal upon it. That opal is banding with colours in areas. It truly, truly is. It's just so tricky to show you here in this light source. I wonder if I can show you my hand. What you've got here is a stunning opal. You've got a beautiful amount of your rose gold within there on the top of that sterling silver. You can see tiny, tiny, tiny bits of the colour play in there, but I promise you there is much more to the eye. Most of them are giving you a really lovely shot of pin. Vast majority of the pin colours I'm getting on this are the likes of your reds and your pinks and your greens, so some of the rarer colours as well. I've just got a really, really beautiful strand chain here for you. It is a stunning rose gold colouring, £28. It should be, but we want to get you ready for this precious metal. We want to get you involved today, and at that price point, this is truly, truly sensational. Just have a little look. Can you see some of the colours on this? Even if you can't see any of the colours in this, like, oh, you just got a little flash of green I saw then. Even if you can't see that colour under this light, you know you're going to be able to see more colour when you get this kind of home and in the flesh. But also, a gorgeous look about it is the fact that you've got that rose gold to kind of really strengthen that colour. Hey Lou, she's saying good morning Dion. Hope it's not another shed day. You had to hide in your shed yesterday? Why? Oh, she can't get reception in the shed. Oh, I get you. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you meant you, Dion. I was like, how are you producing from your shed? Yeah, I thought maybe one of the managers had caught onto your blue theme and was like, get in the shed, Dion. By the way, that is not how we punish people here at JewelleryMaker. Just before we get emails in. $14.95 on this is phenomenal. Shouldn't have been that price point at all. Never seen anything like this myself before. This is a very, very special opportunity and a very, very special deal for you. It truly is. I'm gonna go head on over to a break now. And what I would say to you is, do not forget for me, 30-day money-back guarantee on the likes of this. If you think it doesn't have any colour play whatsoever when you get this home, then absolutely feel free to send it back, because I can promise you there is colour play in many, many areas on this. So do treat yourself to it if you want to just be wowed, really. £14.95 for you. Now, we are going to head on over now to a break, and I'm going to bring to you February's birthstone straight after. I personally love this pairing because I've got two of my favourite gemstones here. That is stunning, stunning amethyst. I haven't seen a quality with a glow like this on an amethyst in a very, very long time. So over the break, make sure you're checking out your baskets on that opal, but also make sure you stay in tune for that stunning amethyst. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
There are two easy ways you can purchase from JewelleryMaker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and FreeSat, and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with JewelleryMaker. If you have a question or a query for JewelleryMaker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2, or alternatively you can email help@jewellerymaker.com. JewelleryMaker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information. There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with JewelleryMaker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with JewelleryMaker. Do you need a helping hand to get started with JewelleryMaker? Are you stuck for ideas and need inspiration? Then visit our JewelleryMaker website, where you can find our video tutorials. Expand your knowledge and skills with these easy-to-follow jewellery making demonstrations. Whether you're a beginner, hobbyist, or business owner, there's always something new to learn. It couldn't be easier. Simply click, and learn some new jewellery making techniques. You can now book Jewellery Maker workshops online. Just head over to our Jewellery Maker website and click on the workshop link. We have a wide range of workshops from beginner to intermediate, covering a variety of mediums. Once you have found a workshop you'd like to attend, simply click on the Book Now button. Fill in the required fields and then press Continue. This will take you through to the payment page. If you have any questions, you can contact our workshop coordinator Wendy at any time by emailing workshop@jewellerymaker.com. We look forward to seeing you.
It's just such great quality, really, isn't it? Don't you think? When you're looking at this, in particular for any of you who kind of know some of the attributes you're looking for in an amethyst, you've most certainly got it here. You really, really do. If you're not entirely sure what you're looking for in amethyst, don't worry about it. You might be new, you might not know exactly what we're looking for in different gems. You do look for different things in different gems. In an amethyst, one of the things we'll look for is a strength of hue. So we're looking for a strength of saturation. The way I think about it is, think about a block of butter, okay? A block of butter, it's a yellow, it's kind of a midway tone, isn't it? You know, it's not black, it's not white, it's a midway tone, and it's kind of a little bit gentle in hue. But then think about the same hue, the same tone in that of a safety jacket, really bright, intense colour. That's what we mean when we talk about saturation. So with an amethyst, you're not really, depending on the type of amethyst you're looking at, but you're not really for the purple pure kind looking for that kind of butter range. You want the impact. And boy, oh boy, do you have the impact on this. You really do. It's that almost kind of regal purple. You know the type of purple you imagine seeing in these kind of ancient paintings of lords and ladies, that kind of velvet look. It's that, isn't it? You can imagine these kind of draping on some of these, you know, famous paintings. It's just a beautiful, rich colour, and that is one of the things you look for in an amethyst, and that's one of the things that evaluator will look for in an amethyst as well. Now, you can achieve that colour in different ways via different treatments. For us, though, on this, Mother Nature has done it herself, so it is a natural variety, which again is something that valuators will look for. How and why and in what manner your gemstone has been treated. Preferably for many, it hasn't been, and this one hasn't. So that's another big fat tick in that box. Another great thing about this is the actual quality of glow. You could see a lot of glow within this, can't you? Can you see some of that kind of body of colour that kind of emits from this? What that means is it gives you a beautiful glow. It really gives you a sensational look and glow. I just think it's stunning, I really, really do. If you want to get your hands on February's birthstone, now is your opportunity to do so. It really is. It's a stunning gem to get your hands on at any rate. One of the most famous in the world. Get your hands on this great quality amethyst. Brand new star buy opportunity for you. I feel like we've not seen something like this in quite some time. Your price point today on this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to put a big smile on your face. It really is. One of the most famous natural gemstones in the world. Hi, Louise. As Dion's in the hot seat, I'd pop a heater on in that shed. I've been in mine and it's freezing. Dion, look what you've reduced us to, says Sophie. She says, I'm sorry. Was that more of a sorry, not sorry, or a genuine sorry? It's sorry. She's doing it like that. I'm sorry. It's a deal, one of these deals that you're going to be rushing out to the shed for, absolutely. That is a ridiculously good price. £12. That is a silly, silly price point. £8.95 for you today on that. That is genuinely sensational. If you think, for example, on Valentine's Day, did you see the price of flowers out there on the market, you know, on the high street? A few roses, a big kind of... you know, big bouquets, even tiny bouquets, nudging up more than that. That is a sensational deal. And I mean, how long are they going to last for you? How long are they going to last? You're right, that really, really low price store that does all of the, I like this gin, but I also like this gin. You know, those ones, you know the ones I mean, don't you? Even we are beating them on price point. Don't get me wrong, this obviously isn't a bouquet of flowers, but it is. Price point wise, you know, even those, that bargain location was selling a bouquet, very simple bouquet of flowers for a higher price point than we're selling this strand. And this strand is A, gonna last you longer. B, it's got more additional value to it. C, it's got more interest, I think. I mean, the history, the folklore, the tale in this gemstone is just phenomenal. I think that is a great deal. I truly do. Loads of you coming in and getting your hands on these. There really, really is. Another thing I love about this is you can see the quality there for yourself. You can see that intense saturation. You can see that you've got clarity on this. You can see that you've got that wonderful workmanship in there that helps intensify that glow and gives you a gorgeous kind of feminine appearance and look. And also, do you know what? I feel like, this might just be me, but I feel like I haven't seen drops in faceted amethyst for ages. Have you, Spells?
No, not for a while.
I feel like I haven't. Maybe your regular drops I've seen a little bit of recently.
The flatter ones.
The flatter ones.
Yeah.
But nothing really like this.
No.
Pollyanna's in saying, I've just bought myself those stunning amethyst drops as it's my birthday today. My birthstone, so it's allowed, I think. Hi, birthday pal. I feel like anyone whose birthday is in February is like my birthday buddy. Yeah, oh, happy birthday to you, Pollyanna. When's mine? Mine is next week, I think. Yeah, it is. Next week. Should really know. I know the date, but I don't know the day. 27th it is. Yeah, good remembering, Zolly. Well done. It's your brother's birthday, okay? Not quite as thoughtful for remembering. Yours is on the 7th of March, 6th of March, because it's Mother's Day. So, okay, we remember for the same reason, all right. Oh, really big happy birthday to you, Pollyanna. Have a fab day. My friend ordered flowers for Valentine's. If they were delivered on Sunday, it cost an extra £10. I'd rather invest the money on these, it says. £10 just for an order, just for it to be delivered.
It's silly, isn't it? And the thing is, if you go to all the shops the day after, they're all like half price anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you might as well just
Yeah, they
say,
are.
well, I'll get them the next day for half price.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've got a question. You say about amethyst being a birthstone, obviously,
Tell
in
me.
February.
Yeah.
What would you have done if you'd have been born 2 days later on a certain year like this year?
Leap year.
When would you celebrate your birthday?
I'd have been like quarter of my age, wouldn't I? I'd have been like quarter of my
Would you
age.
celebrate it on the 28th though, or the 1st?
Both.
It's double celebration.
If I'm completely
and when it's
honest.
a leap year, it's a 3-day.
Yeah,
celebration.
brilliant. So a 3-day celebration. Yeah. Good question though. I would do both. I'll be honest,
Yeah,
that would be me.
I'm not surprised.
Hello Chantal saying, morning crew. I'd rather have the gemstones than the flowers. They last longer and look so much prettier. Chantal, I completely agree with you. I love that idea. I really do. And I think they do last much longer, obviously, but also you can do loads more with them, can't you? What can you do with a bunch of flowers? Okay, those real creative people, you can dry a few of them, but you don't dry that many. What else can you do with them? Put them in the recycling bin after. That's it, isn't it? Not as much fun. Okay, everybody, we are treating you to some more goodies now. One of them is the challenge, which I know has been handed across to you, Spellbinding, Laura Binding. Oh, this is really, really beautiful. I have not seen a cloudy quartz like this in a really, really long time. Is this up your street, Bells?
Yeah, it's really pretty. I love it.
Really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have given our lovely guest designer, oh, I haven't introduced her this hour. Good, with the gorgeous, lovely, spellbinding Laura Binding. We've given you this challenge. Now, if you're not entirely sure what a challenge is, basically we give a collection of gems to our guest designer. They get to work with it for a few hours, and then we have a little nosy at what they've made. This is called Sophie, Louise and Donna Trio. Because they've just texted Dion in saying hi. So she's just dedicated this bundle to you lovely ladies. Don't worry, it's not just those three who can get their hands on it. All of you can as well. I've got for you here a beautiful cloudy quartz trio here for you. These are beautiful 8mm rounds that we've got. Now, when you're looking at the likes of a smoky quartz, what look is that giving you? Well, it's giving you the brown details, isn't it? These, with that cloudy colour, is giving you more of a almost gunmetal look, almost a titanium look, giving you more of that labradorite back palette actually, as opposed to that of your kind of brown colours that you get in the smoky quartz. But just like a smoky quartz, it gives you loads of interest. Unusual for us to be able to get our hands on a kind of grey gemstone. The only other grey gemstone I can think that we bring you off the top of my head is the likes of labradorite and diamond. That's it. That's all I can think of off the top of my head right now. Labradorite and your diamond. So if you want to add a little bit more grey to your collection, now's your opportunity to do so. It's one of those colours that I think kind of goes with everything. Not everybody can pull off black and white together. I think black and white together can look quite harsh on occasions. Not always, sometimes it's balanced nicely, but if your balance is a bit off, it can look quite harsh on occasions. Grey, though, kind of gives you that in-between point. It's more subtle, it's more subdued, but still has a great statement look. These are 8mm rounds, and I would say if you're brand spanking new, 8mm were voted our favourite size once on the hub. In particular for beginners. So if you do want to treat yourself to something really workable, you've got plenty here. So even if you are brand new and you try something with this and it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. It's genuine real deal quartz. It's got that beautiful grey colouring to it, and you have got 3 strands in total. We're going to give you this collection at a great price. £8.95 for 3 strands. That's like a clearance price point. Those are the types of price points we did in those clearance weekends near Christmas time. That is absolutely great deal for you. Bear in mind for me, general rule here at JewelleryMaker is the fact that if we bring you an individual strand, it cannot be lower than £6.95 for an individual one. Well, we've just gone ahead and given you 3 for just £2 more. What do you think of that, Spells?
I think it's great. It's a beautiful, really soft, almost feminine kind of grey, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's very soft. I can imagine, like, I would put this with my sort of sunstone or peach moonstone, something very soft and neutral to go with it, and it would really make a really elegant, I feel, piece of jewellery.
I love that idea. I think they'll go beautifully, and there's so many different colours you could put with it. With the amethyst I've just brought you, Sophie, resistance is futile. It's my birthday this month too, 24. But I've been buying myself presents all year. We are famous girls, and that's from Lou. Oh, bless you, Lou. That's so lovely. Either, Lou, you're turning 24 or your birthday's on the 24th. I'm going to go for both. 24 on the 24th. Happy birthday for you on the 24th. I love birthdays. Morning, Dion. Got these if that's okay. Any room in the shed for me, Louise? Says Deborah. Love that. Don't you think they go great together with that amethyst?
Yeah, beautifully.
Really love that. Great with Pantone. Lou, yeah, absolutely bang on. It would go gorgeous with some Pantone colours that we've got. Oh, goes with Laura's dress, this trio.
It does.
Says Brenda, you're absolutely right, it really does. Hello to Liz saying, that sounds like a challenge. Grey, oh yeah, you're right, grey moonstone, Grey lace agate. I could go on. Love this colour, so elegant. Lovely with cashmere. Hello, Liz. Lovely to see you. You're right, actually. Yeah, grey moonstone. You've got a grey, but it doesn't look like the same type of grey to me as a grey moonstone. It's a bit deeper and more intense than I would expect. It is. It's a bit more stormy cloud grey, says Ollie. A bit more foreboding, isn't it?
Yeah. Because you've got that. There's a selection of different colours, isn't it? It ranges, doesn't it? And if you were somebody like Mark Smith, not me, that would colour graduate it, you could have the darker colours in the centre and have the shades going out to the lighter colours. Because you've got enough there, haven't you?
Yeah, you absolutely have. I love that idea. Well done to every single one of you. I mean, how much is that going to work out per strand, I wonder, to myself? Less than £3 per strand. That is a wonderful deal. That is a really great price. And like I say, it's not very much like anything we've had of late. Do you know what I'm thinking? Now, just throwing it out there, what about with the likes of the gold? Or what about gold chain? Hang on. Coming up at past. Oh, I love this. Hey, did anyone have their eyes peeled during the break? Did you see some of the deals we've got on Saturday? We actually showed you some of the products. That was really cool, wasn't it? That was really good, wasn't it? But look at that gorgeous gold we've got this collection. That would go really nicely, wouldn't it? That chain coming up for you really shortly. Oh man! I'm away with my daughter, Layla Sky. Oh, I didn't mean to sound that angry. I'm having a cheeky look at JM, and D-Baby is killing me because I can't buy anything. Hashtag gutted. Dion's just gone, why can't you buy? Why can't you buy? Have you got the app? If you can message in, then you must be able to download the app, and then surely you can treat yourself. Where are you at, Sonia? Where are you with your gorgeous daughter? I'd love to know. I love a good trip away. Are you on a staycation or are we abroad? Abroad? Abroad. Hello to Mary. My birthday is on the 18th. Wait, isn't that tomorrow?
No, Thursday.
16th, 17th, 18th. 2 days away. And treated myself in the clearance over the weekend. Oh, Mary, I'm glad you treated yourself. How about post-birthday treat of, oh, I don't know, proper real deal treats of gold and white gold? For example, it's just an example, Mary. How about? Hey Thomas, hi Lou and Sophie. It's great being part of Dion's crew. She da bomb, as my son would say. And then Sophie's going, Louise, you are so right. Restraint, no chance. Resistance, no chance. Mine is on the 26th of February. Like you, I buy almost every day. Went mad with the deals last weekend. Hashtag skint. Hello to you, Sophie. Lovely to see you. Isn't it nice how they're all sort of chatting?
I love how they're having a conversation with each other through you.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, it's like nosing in on someone's phone call,
like you're
isn't
sat
it?
there just like, oh, is it? And then just having a let's have a good old chat.
It's like when you were younger and you used to go on the landline and like your mum would be on the landline and you'd pick it up and you'd be able to hear their conversation. Do you know what I mean? Or the other way around, ladies and gentlemen, where you pick up the phone and you're having a good gossip about that boy that you fancy, da 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 da. And then your mum goes on and goes, excuse me, could you get off the phone? You think, how long should we listening? This is Louise saying, oh, welcome in the shed. No reception. Oh, bless you. Loads of you treating yourself to that trio. And just to let you know, the gold chain coming up for you very soon. And also to let you know that this is the challenge we've got for Lovely Spells. So do remember that you can have a little look out for him. It makes it she's making later on. Now, 10 points to who can remember used the bead crinkler the other day. Do you? Go on. Claire, I thought it was. No, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like fun game, guys. No, I'd forgotten. I thought it was Claire, but I needed to be sure. Claire had used the wire crinkler just like this in one of her beautiful makes, and she'd used it to create a really beautiful movement in the hair designs, I want to say, or possibly the one after that, with these beautiful pearls all the way along it to give a really wonderful look. If you want to look back on it, do feel free. I want to say that it was on Thursday. It was last Thursday, it was on the morning show. So do feel free to watch that back. This is your wire crinkler tool. It is so simple, it really is. All you have to do is feed your wire through here. You can use the little nodule up here to feed your wire through. You don't have to though. And all you have to do is put your wire in between here. The teeth will grab onto them, and with a little bit of movement, your wire will come out the other side beautifully crinkled. But maybe you don't want a crinkle. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more earthy and you want to create a wave for some of the beautiful narwhals or turtles that Spelby showed us earlier on. Well, you can absolutely do that with this one. This is giving you a really nice wave look. It's giving you a loop look. And you saw how quickly that was for me to change this tool around. It's absolutely easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's going to add texture to your wire, it's going to change the way that the light works with the wire, and it's going to give you just a really beautiful kind of feel to your pieces. Just £7.95 for you today to get your hands on that one. This is brilliant. Claire also channel wrapped beads with wire using this. Oh, love that, Lou. Thank you. Great tool, great bit of kit, it really is. Thank you for letting us know that, Lou. I'm glad that you've treated yourself to it as well. Wire crinkler, £7.95. It's going to add a different look to your pieces. It's going to add a different design to your pieces. And yes, you can use it with a range of different gauges. Grazes, I was going to say then. Different grazes. Different gauges of your wire. Who fancies another tool? I've got a spiral maker. Reminds me of, did anyone used to have, what is this thing, and I'm gonna have to act it out, but it's like a spiral maker. You get a stencil, you get a pen, and you do that, and it makes...
Can I say the name of it?
Pardon?
Can I say the name of it?
Yeah, go on.
Spirograph.
Spirograph! Other 80s inspired games are available. Yes!
Such as Fashion Wheel.
I used to have that one too. Fashion
I can't
Wheel,
think of a
yeah.
third one.
And it's
Connect 4, although that's not really an 80s game.
brilliant. Mr. Frosty, we're going down that route. Yeah, brilliant. Great game, by the way. Yeah, so it reminds me of that, really. What you've got here is something, though, a bit more of an adult version. You can make a beautiful spiral with wire. So simple to do. Literally, you take these sections apart. You get the little nuts at the top, which you could just unscrew with your hand. You get the top of this material out. And the great thing about this material is it's a really sturdy but kind of non-scratch plastic, so it's not going to damage any of your wire. You get the little... key in at the top there, which you can see being placed in, and then you literally just guide your wire in to that key. And what the key does is it has a slice within it which will turn the coil for you. It means you're going to get a really nice flat coil. It means you're going to get a really lovely circular kind of look to it, and it also means that you're not going to, if you work this with say coloured wire, because it's that kind of non-scathed, non-scratch surface, it means you're not going to get any of that metal coming up. You're not going to get any of that colour, kind of, say you're working with a black, you're not going to get any of that colour kind of shining through of the copper underneath. So it gives you a really nice professional finish. And another great thing about it is you can use this as many times as you like. You can make as many of these different pieces as you like. And it means each and every one is going to look the same. Perfect if you want to do a link chain, or if you want to do the likes of earrings, or if you want to even do the likes of card details. It's perfect. You have got your spiral bead maker. Your price point today, just £8.95 for every single one of you today on this one. It is a really wonderful piece of kit. Very simple to use, as you've seen. You've just seen the demonstration there as well. So very simple for you to kind of use and to get your hands on. £8.95 is your price point on that one, ladies and gents. How do you feel about me bringing some sterling silver to you now? I'm not just any old sterling silver. A sterling silver we don't get to see often, but actually I think we need crimp bead covers. Now, what on earth is a crimp bead? Okay, crimp bead. It's a flat little tube that you get, and the flat little tube itself can help you do things like add-on clasps and help you do things such as hold two pieces of wire or cord together. These go over the top of that crimp, and the reason we do that is because it makes it smooth against the skin because they're nice and soft and rounded. They're not all jaggedy and sticky out like the likes of a crimp, but also they give you that very professional finish. It almost makes it look like you can't actually see how that was created, how that was made. It makes it look almost mechanical-like in look. And these are the types of pieces that you think, 100, wow, that is a lot. Am I going to need that many? Whoa, yes you are. Because on any kind of piece of beaded necklace, you would be having a minimum of 2 on that design. Spells, you're just showing me you've used some actually on the turtle, haven't you?
Yeah, so I just grabbed it quickly just to show you. If you look just here,
yeah,
can you see? And I just used a couple. So I have actually, the beading thread, I did forget to say, was actually put all the way through. So it's been woven around the turtle as well. So the whole beading thread is one continuous piece, so it's really supporting the turtle.
Fab.
But to just add it and loop it, I did crimp it, but then I just put those crimp covers on the bare beading thread.
Fab.
Just to cover it up and distract from it. So, you know, they don't just have to cover the crimps, they can be used decoratively as well.
I love that because it really helps finish off that design. If you love that turtle design as much as we do, we showed you how to create that turtle earlier on, so do feel free to watch us back on YouTube or on the repeat. This is your 925 sterling silver crimp bead cover. 3mm on these ones, genuine sterling silver, so you've got a lot of this precious metal, and I mean a lot of it. 11 grams worth of this, ladies and gentlemen, in total. So a really big amount as described there. Your price point today for your 925, just £14.95 for you. Now that really is a wonderful deal, and I'll tell you why. It's it's 11 grams worth in total, and at that price point, this is something very, very, very special, isn't it? Indeed.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's something very, very special to be able to get your hands on this. It truly is. To be able to kind of get that amount of inherent value. Liz is saying, sadly, Becky, I had a spirograph in the late 60s. Oh, really? Loved it then and still have it. The Spiral Maker reminds me of it too. You still have a toy from when you were young. That's
not really
fab.
a toy, is it? I didn't think of it as a toy. It's artistic.
Pardon?
It's not a toy.
It's kind of a creativity outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do get that. I used to love my spirograph so much, and the fashion wheel, where you change your plate. Do you remember these, Kerry? The fashion wheel.
They're still about. They are still about.
I'll get you one for next birthday. Basically, you get like a top, middle and bottom of a girl, don't you? Yeah. And you get to kind of mix and match them as you would. And then
you put your paper over it, don't you?
And
then
do
you
a
colour
rubbing. Don't you? You do a rubbing like you used to on like trees in
different colours. So you want that part of the skirt to be pink, so you colour that in pink, that in green.
It was really good fun. Kerry's looking at me like she cannot wait for next year to come around. I think that is a great deal for you, it really is. And can I just show it you? Cass has just handed me these makes, made with the amethyst I had on earlier. Fiona Jones has created these ones. And if I just show you them alongside, wouldn't these look fantastic with them? You could actually add those on as little spacers, couldn't you?
Ooh. You can actually attach them to the chain as well. So I've said this before, but if you just put it to the side of each link of a chain, it just gives that kind of little textured effect. Do you want some pliers?
I like that idea.
This isn't going to work.
No. I'm not leaving it forever.
No, I know. No. I just meant to
Hang on.
Just take
Spellbind's just gone to it. Just take them. Look, balancing. But as kind of a feature, yes,
so you
I love
just
that
gently
idea.
Crump. Give up.
Yeah. That's great, isn't it? That's brilliant. I love that design. And you could really go for it, couldn't you? You could add loads to this. Oh, I really like that idea. Thank you for creating this for us, Fiona. Fab, look there. And we love the earrings as well, really nice. £14.95 for you today on that one. And just to let you know, that stunning amethyst is at the bottom of your screen. Absolutely loads of amethyst you got on there. Thank you for doing those for us. Now, how do you feel about getting your hands on gold? Gold. It is our star. Bye. Oh, it is just so dainty and delicate and tickly. It's so beautiful that we've got this. It really, really is. Oh, I just love and adore it. It feels beautiful against the skin because when you kind of move it along the skin, when I say it sort of feels a bit like tickly, it's because the intricacy of the workmanship of this is just so, so immaculate, and it really is. If this was all lumpy, bumpy and not that well made, you wouldn't get that beautiful kind of tickly feeling. It would just feel like a big hunk of junk. It would just feel like a big piece of metal that was kind of jabbing in at loads of different angles. But the workmanship that's gone into this is so exceptionally exquisite that it really just feels beautiful. It really, really does. I've got for you here genuine, real deal, 9-carat gold, ladies and gentlemen. It is the real deal. This is giving you a little bit of a taster. This is giving you a little bit of a feel for what we've got coming up over this weekend. Now, on Saturday, I know that I have got some treats for you, and on Sunday we're going to be bringing you some treats as well. I can't be sure, and you might be able to tell me, Dee, have we got any gold chain in? Do you know? We're not sure if we've got any gold chain in. Now, we know we've got this, which, ladies and gentlemen, is white gold. It's snowing. That's how exciting it is. It's made it snow. That's how exciting this is. Saturday 8. Now, Saturday at 8 we'll be having the white gold, but we don't think we've got any gold. We've got gold pieces coming up for you, but we don't think we've got any gold chain. So what I would say to you is, if you're planning on getting your hands on things like gold head pins, for example, gold spacers, for example, well, and then you want kind of a main component to be a gold chain, now is your time to get that gold chain, because I cannot guarantee you that we're going to be able to bring you gold chain at the weekend. So definitely get it whilst you can. Neither myself or my lovely producer Dion is sure that we have got any gold chain coming in this weekend. This is a beautiful 9-carat gold chain. It's the genuine real deal gold. The amount of workmanship that goes into getting this is absolutely mind-boggling. It's going through more than 40 processes to get this gold to you, to actually create and make the gold. It's so long. It's about adding in chemicals, taking chemicals out to stabilize it. It's about putting it into the likes of a centrifuge and swirling it around so all these bits get separated. It's about heating it, cooling it, centrifuging it again, adding more chemicals to kind of neutralize the previous ones and all this. It is just so much work that goes into this, which is one of the reasons it is one of the highest priced precious metals in the world. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that all of that fails into significance when you see the beauty and the price. £24.95. We sniff at that price point. £19.95 for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hold this up to the neckline for you, because I've got to say, you can see, move the hair, you can see this, move, you can, oh, are you serious? You can see the sparkle and the shine from this. Oh my gosh, isn't that warming? Isn't that delicate? Doesn't that just give you a real kind of glamour look? If anyone was kind of stayed up to watch the Grammys, or if you've seen any of the British TV Awards, etc., that's been on in the last few days, you will have seen some of the biggest stars in the world wearing this colour of metal and wearing this quality of precious metal. It is a beautiful 9-carat chain. If you want to get your hands on this, like I say, I do encourage you to get it quickly, because we being myself and my team, are not entirely sure that we're going to be bringing you any gold chain over the weekend, which is, of course, the launch of our precious metals. So excited for that. So excited. So, honestly, I would say to you, if you're planning on getting those added extras, such as your spacers, because I mean, 9-carat gold spacer on this would be beautiful. And how high-end would that look? It'd look astonishing, it really would. £19.95 for you on that is a great deal. And can I just reiterate to you that that price point will not last forever. That price point is only lasting until 8 o'clock. That is it, 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, which is the day after today. It's the 17th. Thanks, guys. It's the 17th, so if you're watching on the repeat and it's just before 8 o'clock, you've got to check this out, because it will go back to that price point at 8 o'clock. I'm going to show you, what are we showing? Russian chrome dioxide, is it? Oh, hello. Oh, I didn't see this. I love green and gold together. I think it's absolutely sensational. And I've got to say, when you've got quality of genuine real deal gold, not gold plating or gold flash or gold colour, genuine gold, well then it absolutely demands the quality of a Russian chrome dioxide. Yet again, a very great quality that we've got here for you. This quality coming from 2014's collection. 2015's, of course, not coming to us here at JewelleryMaker as of yet. A beautiful strand there coming up for you as your star buy. Okay, we're going to be bringing you the bead-along wire straightening tool. Now, why is a straightening tool for wire so important?
Because when you work with wire, you know, even if we were doing like the turtle, you're moving and manipulating that wire and you're putting kinks into that wire. And sometimes you might want to start afresh and straighten it back out, or sometimes you might make a kink in it without realising and you need to re-straighten it. So for that reason alone, you need a tool like that.
It's so simple to use, isn't it? It really is. Tell us how we use this, Spelby, please.
Do you want to show it? I can give you a piece of wire.
Well, you can show it to us.
I can show it, can I?
Yeah.
Come on in. I need to borrow your tool because mine's
Well, you can come over here if you want.
Okay. My tool's at home, in my drawer, in my organised drawer.
In your organised drawer?
Not really organised.
It's not really organised.
It's in a drawer and I know where it is.
Laura Byington's been doing her workshop room out, so it's all nice and neat and tidy. Okay, here is our wire straightener tool.
There's my non-straight wire.
Kinky.
Yep. So what you would think with this is, you would naturally want to hold it like sort of
flat in your palm.
Yeah. So it is designed to sit in your palm. So you can take the wire, you hold it, and so if I can show it like that, and so then you just basically close your hand and run the wire
through. And look at how much straighter that is already. Wow.
So I'm trying to show you as well. So I would do this way. It's a bit easier to hold.
So we're not taking off any of the colour off that.
No.
You're not adding any dints in it or kind of nooks to it, are you?
No, it's just straightening that wire out. Now this is also a 0.8, so it's really good for the slightly thicker gauges of wire as well.
Oh, that's good.
So it can help get those, and then you can see.
So you could see how beautifully flattened and straight that is now. And the great thing about that is it means that you can use this with the thicker gauges of wire, which actually can be really hard on your hands to try and straighten.
Yeah, this is a 0.8, but if you're going up to like a 1mm or 1.25, this still works with those, whereas sometimes the nylon pliers can sometimes be a little bit harder to get those kinks out, but this does the job every time.
Thank you, Spelby. And of course, don't forget with your nylon jaws, it can kind of gnaw away at the teeth after a while, can't it?
The thicker the gauges, the more pressure you're putting on it as well.
So simple to use, designed to be easy and beautiful to work with, just in the palm of your hand. Your price point today on this is just £8.95. So great if you are one of those people that maybe don't have, you know, the tidiest of work areas, and maybe you've got some of that wire and you've kinked it and you've kind of put a knot in it accidentally, you've just shoved it to the back of the cupboard. Well, things like that, when you get back to it, you can go, oh, I have to throw all that away now. This is going to help you. Your price point today at just £8.95. So simple to use, and like I say, it has got that beautiful smoothness to it as well. So you can use this on the likes of coloured wire as well.
Yeah, and because of the way that it's it is almost like a nylon material, isn't it? Mm. So it doesn't damage your wire in any way. It doesn't hurt the coating, and it's really good if you're using the finer wires and you want to just get that nice and smooth for your weaving or anything like that.
Yeah, fantastic deal there for you. £8.95 for you on that one. It is a really lovely piece of kit, a really wonderful tool. And again, it is beadle-on, so we absolutely know and understand that name. £8.95 for you today. Up next, something blue. Showstopper? Now, if any of you have not yet met my team, you won't understand why we're talking about something blue. Basically, in my team, I am joined by some very talented and some slightly loopy people. Dion is loopy about one thing in particular, and it is the colour blue. She likes to give us amazing prices on some stunning gemstones. But actually, she can't help herself when we bring you the likes of blue gemstones. She just has to. I've got for you here 25 carats worth of these lapis cabochons. Now, lapis lazuli is one of those gems which is absolutely ancient. It's been used over time. It's been used for hundreds upon thousands of years for many different things. This is a gemstone which has been used as part of artwork. It's been used in the likes of the Sixtine Chapel. It's the type of gemstone which has been featured in some of the kind of most statement of pieces of jewellery in the world. It's been worn by pharaohs. It's been documented in encyclopedias for hundreds of years. And it's one of those gems that really is hard to ignore. It's unique and individual, and it just stands out from the crowd. I've got for you this stunning lapis lazuli here. The gemstone itself, blue of body, blue of hue, and what you get is these tiny, tiny, tiny little platelets within there. It's those pyrite-like inclusions that you've got within there. And that is one of the things that gives this that starry, starry night appeal. It's lovely to be able to see them in the cabs, and I will of course be asking Spelby for her cab tip with these, because to get 3 of them is something very rare, in particular in the size of a 12 by 16. If you want to get your hands on one of the most notable gemstones of all time, now is your opportunity to do so. Louise has messaged in, on your marks, get set. Go to shed! Louise is trying to get out of her reception zone so she knows she can't ring in, because she knows what Dion's about to do with this. And you've got a beautiful blue colouring on there, and you have that wonderful kind of pyrite-like inclusions. You can see you've got the en cabochon shape, which essentially means you've got the very flattened base and the dome top. Perfect for the likes of your wire wrapping, but so much more. If you want to treat yourself to these ones, now's your opportunity. You will be getting 3. It will be in this oval, and it will be around that shape, which is great to know, because we don't always do it like that, do we? Sometimes we give you it in like a average kind of carat weight, and you don't know how many you're going to get or what they're going to look like. With these ones, you do. You know you're going to be getting 3 of these, and you know they're all going to look very, very similar indeed. But of course, every single one of them holding that different detail internally. If we do get that beautiful gemstone through the door that I told you about earlier on, that I really, really want to tell you about, but I'm not allowed to tell you about it in case we don't get it, I hope we do. But it'd go great with this. Really hope we get it. Wowzers! £3.95. That is why my phone lines have gone absolutely loopy. The web has gone off like a firework on the 5th of November. It is double buyers left, right and centre. £3.95. Genuinely, you couldn't buy one piece of rough of a lapis for that type of price. Not from this location, you couldn't. Highly doubt it. Highly, highly doubt it. That is a phenomenal, phenomenal price point for 3. Spelby, first off, price, discuss.
That's just crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
No.
That's especially for lapis as well.
In particularly for lapis.
Yeah.
Absolutely. From Afghanistan as well. It's from that premium location. It's from that location whereby there's not loads of huge companies all kind of, you know, vying and buying for the biggest mine and the biggest spot and then selling them off at auction so they can get their prices raised higher and higher and higher and it can go back into the corporate mill and this huge business. This location, they're all tiny artisanal mines, many of them run by families, who have worked in that trade, in that mine for generations. Spelby, you are just, for me, the queen of cabochons. I need to know what you would be doing with these because they're such a dainty size. You don't get to see that often.
I would just give them to you and let you watch you attempt to put it as a ring.
Oh, it's hard.
That size, I know it can be a bit intimidating to some people because they think, oh, it's slightly smaller. But for me, like you say, exactly that. It's perfect for a ring because it's an ideal size. And they're actually, from this distance, they look like they're quite deep, which is quite nice. They've got a nice depth to them, which means they're going to grip the wire. If you've got the flat wire that we've been having lately, or if you use, you know, you can net around them, prong set them. But they're also really great to have a matching pair of earrings. So for me, I would be getting at least 2 sets because I'd be thinking ring, earrings straight away because you've got that consistency, pendant, bracelet, and then you've still got one to do maybe another ring with or to do another pendant. So you could do a really over-the-top pendant and frame it and do lots of layers around it. Or you could do a really simple prong set or cage set pendant.
Love that idea. I also want to know, if someone's not done wire work before, what exactly would you suggest for someone who's maybe not a wire worker?
If you're just new, I mean, I've got a cabochon DVD where we do cover the 3 basic kind of ways of dealing with a cabochon, like the prong setting, the netting and the caging. I would say just have a go at the caging or something very simple where you don't need to get complicated with layers of wire. You can just use a 0.6 or a 0.8 wire and you can just catch that stone and have it as a simple pendant.
Love that idea. Just thought, second kit, could have glue it onto one of them.
Yes, definitely. But there's so many options with that, isn't there, really?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing with cabochons, because obviously I primarily work with wire. For me, I'm thinking, how can I set it with wire?
Yes.
But you can just use glue. You can glue it onto the metal. You can soutache around it, resin it, everything.
You can really go for it, can't you? Lou saying perfect for a Spelby ring.
There you go.
It absolutely is, isn't it? That's exactly the first thing I thought. Cufflinks as well you could do with these, couldn't you? Louise, I've gone, says Sophie. I think these are phenomenal. At that price point in particular, absolutely silly. Can you glue wire onto the back of these cabs?
Yes, you could. You could do, just taking your wire, you could just do like a figure of 8 with your, with a 1mm and then just twist it. And then just glue the flat side to the stone, and then you've got a little simple loop to just attach a chain with.
Fantastic. So you can use this in so many different ways, you really can. I think it'll go nicely as well with my chrome, don't you? Oh. They go great together, don't they? Don't you think? There's something about blue and green as well that just work. If you want a smile on your face like my accidental hand collection has, you've got the opportunity to right here, right now, because ladies and gentlemen, your extremely rare Russian chrome dioxide coming up to star by. Ladies and gentlemen, not the time to hang around with this gemstone at all, not the time to hang around with this strand. I've got a decent enough quantity. It has to be one of the best quantities I've had of this gemstone in a very long time. I'm starting off with around 150 of these in total. Now, this quantity sounds like possibly a really, really big number to some of you, but it's not when you consider all of the hundreds of people who are watching us. And to some of you who know the likes of the quantity of pieces we bring to you and know the likes of the situation with chrome dioxide right now, you will be worried and therefore already rushing to the phone lines. With only around 150 of these available, now it could be your last and first chance to get your hands on this strand of Russian chrome dioxide. Now, please do forgive me again if you know a lot about this gemstone already and you kind of feel like I'm sort of preaching to the choir, but please do just understand that I get lots of new people joining us every single day who might not have heard of this absolutely sensational gemstone, and you have to remember kind of the first time that you saw it and fell in love with it, and possibly how part of the story and history to it made you fall in love with it. Just take this time right now, if you do know all about this, to get on the phone lines, because a lot of people will be listening to exactly why all the connoisseurs are already on the phone lines. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your Russian dioxide. And this gemstone itself is absolutely famed for its rareness. It's a gemstone we rarely get to see for many different reasons. Number one, the mining situation with this is very difficult. It's very hard. It's extremely cold conditions in the location in Siberia where we get this, which means we're only allowed to mine this for a few months of the year. Another fact of the matter on this one is that you've got a location whereby the gem itself is quite out the way, and that means that it takes a lot of time to even get up to that mining area, and it takes a lot of dedication, let's say, from the miners also. Another fact of the matter on this one, ladies and gents, is that it is a very dire time for this gemstone. Why? Well, because in 2015, this gemstone had a record-breaking year for being the worst year of yields ever. 2015, the mining time for this was cut down greatly. Out of 365 days in a year, this mining period for this time was only 64 days. We have tried and failed thus far to get our hands on a guaranteed parcel of the 2015 yields. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. This is from the yields from 2014, because basically what they do is they only mine it for a certain amount of year. They don't all let it go at once. They kind of feed it out slowly but surely. So this is from the yield in 2014, and I'm not entirely sure we're ever going to get to see any of 2015s. We have tried, and for the prices that are being demanded at the moment, if it continues this way, we're not going to be getting any. In particular, as that mining period is so small this year, the lowest yields ever, 2015. It has been rumoured by a very good source indeed that in 2016 it will not be opening at all. This gemstone has always been rare. It's a one locational gemstone with your Russian dioxide. It's always been rare, but actually to get your hands on it right here, right now, is something very special indeed. Come on in, get it whilst you can. Your price point today on this strand. Ignore that. Can I just mention to you, ladies and gentlemen, that should this continue in the vein it has, that we're going to see price rises on this, the GIA have suggested, that we've only seen on tanzanite. £34.95 for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, this gemstone is so extremely rare. And the fact of the matter is that not only have you got a really rare gemstone, way rarer than the likes of your diamond and some other one locational gemstones, way rarer, but also just to let you know that the GIA got behind this massively a couple of years ago, coming up with a colour grading scale of it that we'd only properly seen to that extent on the likes of a tanzanite before. The fact of the matter is as well that Many of the companies who actually work alongside the tanzanite miners have been looking at the next big gemstone, and it was between this gemstone and a kyanite for when tanzanite goes, what will be the next big thing. And also just to let you know that I'll be honest, it probably won't be able to be this gemstone as the next big thing, because actually the rarity of this is so extreme that are they going to be able to make their money from it? The fact of the matter is, you could look at this and say, well, I'm going to try and get my hands on all Russian chrome dioxide when I can, and I do encourage you to do that. I really do. For me, I've been collecting chrome dioxide of late, been getting my hands on it, definitely. It's a very special gemstone. But one thing I would also say is, what is important to look at it for? Why is it important to look at this one and say that one in particular is special for me? Look at the craftsmanship. How often do we get to see this shape with this amount of faceting? Hardly ever. Why? It's got a perfect cleavage. It's one of the hardest gemstones in the world to facet and to cut in this shape, and therefore we very rarely tend to do it. It took us years and years and years to be able to find a location within Jaipur that could cut this for us. It took us years and years and years to be able to bring you not just a plain rondelle in this, but these slightly more unusual oval shapes with the faceting surface on both sides. So it really is a very special gemstone to get your hands on. $34.95. It is so it's such an expensive gemstone out there in the trade at the moment, and it's such an exceptional option to be able to get your hands on. And I genuinely would say that if you have tanzanite in your collection, for me this is the perfect pairing for it. It really is going to be perfect. Well done to all of you who got your hands on that. I think it's just a spectacular gem, I truly do. I don't have a massive amount of that one left. Honestly, all I will say is, if in 2016 it doesn't open again, which is what we have been given on kind of good information that it may well not open at all, the mine, then basically we're going to have to live off what we've got at this moment in time, because like I say, we haven't got 2015 coming through at the moment. So truly, every time I look at this, I think, is this going to be the last time I see it? Because I know the situation on this and I know how hard we've found to get it. If you do want to treat yourself to this today, I think it'll go great with that gold chain I showed you earlier on. I also think it goes really nicely if you're going to go for a bit of green and gold with this too. Well done to everyone who got that. A very special heirloom piece to me. I'm bringing to you right here, right now, that lovely pyrite strand, super duper long in length. You have got 50 carats worth of these here in total. And again, going great with the likes of that beautiful set of cabochons too, isn't it? You've got a beautiful pyrite here. It's a submetallic gemstone. It's been used throughout history. The likes of kind of the Egyptians used to love this gemstone. It's got a submetallic base to it. It's got a very high metallic base to it, which means you get a whoa load of shine. I mean, look at that sparkle. But also it means you get a really nice feel to it. It's cool against the skin, it's strong against the skin, and it is super duper durable. 50 carats worth of this here today, ladies and gentlemen. If you want sparkle, you're in the right place. Your price point today on this collection, just £5.95. How amazing is it that you can get your hands on this strand and 3 of those cabochons, and you can get all of that for under £10? That is spectacular. Do not forget, for me, ladies and gents, these are real deal gemstones. These have not been made in a lab. These are not made out of glass. These are real deal gemstones Mother Nature has made for us from the centre of the earth. Well, not quite the centre, but from the crust of the earth. It is something very special indeed at £5.95. For you today on that one. Lots of you treating yourself to these ones. Hi to you all. Do feel free to text us in. Donna's saying, morning, just got my battery operated reamer through today. OMG, how have I survived without this great fun? Watching JM reaming everything in sight. Oh, Donna, thank you for letting us know that. Donna, you know the tool you've just got in, is it the tool that does the ends? Did you get these ones, Donna? I don't. Did we sell out? Probably. It's the tool that you've got, Donna, that these ones go with. These ones go in the reamer, but look, they're your bead rounder. See it? We're not sure if it's sold out or not, but I would have a little look back on that if you wanted to. You got all 3 of them, by the way. Have a little look, because you could do a bit of both then, couldn't you? Hello, Donna. Lovely to see all of you today. Do feel free to text us in. What you up to this week? Have we got anything cool on this week? How was your Val Day? Did you get all romanced up? Did you treat yourself to a card? Did you get the standard card off your mum? Did you? Anyone else? Yeah, people do that. Do you give your kids a card for Valentine's Day? Literally just me then. Really? Your mum doesn't send you a Valentine's Day card every year?
No.
Oh, what? With a little question mark at the end, like, oh, but you can't guess who it's from.
No, but me and Tony do get each other husband and wife ones and still put question mark.
Oh.
Like, oh, I wonder who it could be.
That's dead romantic. What are you two like? $5.95 for you today on this one. I've got purple wire that we are going to bring to you really quickly, and I think if you're going for that Valentine's Day chocolate box look, then that's really pretty, isn't it? Oh, if you're a February baby like myself, go great with the amethyst we had on earlier, wouldn't it? Okay, everybody, I've got a big amount of wire here for you. 0.6, and it is 100 meters worth. This is a beautiful colour of purple. It's so rich, it's so vibrant, it's aubergine-esque, isn't it? It's really stunning look that we have to it. And the great thing with our wire like this is the quality. This isn't likely to shed easily or come off easily. It's going to last and last and last, which is great because you've got 100 meters worth of it. 100 meters is going to last you a long time. So at that price point, it is an absolute bargain and a half. It truly, truly is. If you love your Viking knit, this is going to be perfect for you. The likes of your findings are going to be wonderful with this as well. And don't forget, you can use it with different coloured wires. Have you got any 1.5 kind of gold base wire? If you have, this is going to be wonderful alongside it. It really, really, really is. And it'll just give you like a little hint underneath as well of this design. It's so beautiful, and £9.95 for that one is a great deal for you. And again, no, not the price we would normally expect, but also would go beautifully with your amethyst. Don't be afraid to add an extra pop. I mean, it just works, doesn't it, when you've got the colour. That price point for that much is something special, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, for Viking knit, rosary links, anything like that, if you wanted to, maybe if you had any amethyst rounds or anything like that and you wanted to make a drop necklace with the drops.
Perfect.
But rounds and have that, go for it and add that pyrite in. Is no pyrite?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had
the
it,
gold
yeah.
pop.
Perfect. $9.95 for you on that, and those are at the bottom of your screen. After the break, oh, the opal strand. See you in a bit.
This is a JewelleryMaker announcement. Join us for our Vintage Fair weekend. We'll have all of your favourite guest designers creating bespoke jewellery and giving you lots of inspiration to get that vintage style from a bygone era. With classes on vintage combs, 1920s layered pearls and Art Nouveau brooches, you'll be glad you stopped by. The Vintage Fair weekend starts Friday the 19th of February. Now, off for a cuppa. 2 sugars.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with JewelleryMaker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with JewelleryMaker. Do you need a helping hand to get started with JewelleryMaker? Are you stuck for ideas and need inspiration? Then visit our JewelleryMaker website, where you can find our video tutorials. Expand your knowledge and skills with these easy-to-follow jewellery making demonstrations. Whether you're a beginner, hobbyist, or business owner, there's always something new to learn. It couldn't be easier. Simply click and learn some new jewellery making techniques.
Join resident designer Sheila for our Bridal Headwear for Beginners DVD. Sheila will guide you through an array of beautiful bridal designs, including a pearl tiara, the star hair cone, a twisted spiral tiara, and much more. This DVD is packed full of inspiration and helpful hints and tips. To get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Get interactive with Jewellery Maker by liking our Facebook page and join over 55,000 like-minded people.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Jewellery Maker. It's so nice to have you on board with us today. Thank you all for joining me. My name is Becky, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is an exquisite, exquisite opal. You know, some of the opal we've had on of late has been like kind of translucenty, well, really transparent, and it's had the kind of back colour of almost like a custard-y tone. It's had that look, hasn't it? It's had that kind of detail to it. I've gone back to kind of the original colouring that we used to do about 1.5 years ago, which is that beautiful, pure kind of white back colour. But I brought you the quality of the new custardy colour we've been doing. This is a double whammy treat for you, it really is. Bringing, for me anyway, the two best qualities of the two types of opal that we mainly do. Take a little look at this high quality Ethiopian strand. Now please bear in mind for me, I have not shaded this at all. This gemstone needs shading in these lights just because the lights in here aren't the kind of natural lights that opal thrives in. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you can see some of the pin fire and the flash now, then you're going to get even more impact of this when you get it home and get it into the light source it prefers, which is essentially your natural light source. It loves the kind of darker nights. It loves the kind of, you know, not so bright and shiny sunny days, which for me makes it perfect gemstone for this country, doesn't it? Because we very rarely get those very, very sunny days. It is a beautiful Ethiopian opal, and for me, this is a great time to be buying your opal. It really is. It has been discussed that Ethiopian opal, your Wellow opal, we've been searching and searching and searching for a new stream of this. It's from a really unusual location. If you imagine, when you think of mining for a gemstone, a lot of you will have an image in your mind, won't you, of these kind of pits that you go into, say on your tanzanite mine that we've shown you a few times before. With this, it's very different. It's on the face of a cliff, first off, that you abseil down to, and then you kind of shimmy along a seam which only runs to be about 2 meters into the actual cliff face. Now, we have looked a few meters above this seam, we have looked a few meters below this seam, but as of yet we have not found any more of this gemstone. That's the seam I'm talking about there. Can you see, you've abseiled down that cliff and then you've got that seam that goes around 1 meter, 2 meters in that you have to kind of shimmy along. We haven't been able to find any more of this. As soon as we get to the end of that seam, as it were, it's unlikely that we're going to be able to find any more of this gem. The date or the time that's been given on this at the moment is that it could actually be gone. We could be at the end of that seam within the next 2 years. It could be less, could be more. But what I would say is when you see a quality like this that you love, do not hesitate to purchase. It's a stunning quality and workable opal at a very special star buy deal. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen, check out those baskets. Don't forget, for me, everyone paying that final closing price on it. And I've got to say to you that with the people who are already adding this into their baskets, you are getting yourself such a deal and a treat, aren't you? Can anyone else see any of those ribbons? It's like proper ribbon opal, isn't it? You can actually see that look about it. Do you see what I mean by the ribbon? By the ribbon, you know, what I mean is it's essentially almost these strips of colour that melt into each other. I'm looking at one now that goes green to gold to red, and it's in this ribbon-like form. It is so exceptional. You've got some of the rarest colours of opalescence in here, some of the rarest colours in the world. Still can't be recreated in a lab in the same way. It's one of those gemstones that has kind of, Mother Nature has won out on science yet again. It is a stunning strand if you want to get your hands on this, to see this amount of quality. And don't get me wrong, we've had loads of quality of late. You know, I've been bringing you the £109.95 strands of opal. I've been bringing you the £99.95 opal. I've been bringing you the £89.95 opal, all at this exceptional quality. But what I've got with this is I've got not only that beautiful pale back palette of the white, which is really workable, but also I've got the faceting. That is something I haven't seen in a long time. So to be able to bring you that at under £109 is something very special indeed. You ready for this? £34.95. I have not seen this amount of opalescence in this gemstone at under £40 in ages. £29.95. We've just rolled this down for you. That price point is exceptional. And what I've got to say is, do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that truly that price point is going to be going back up in price. But even when you get this at that going up in price again, this is a truly sensational deal for you. It really is. $29.95 for this quality. What do you think of that, Spells?
It's beautiful, isn't it? And you know, as a guest designer sitting here, sometimes I've worked with the opal, and you can see how beautiful, you see how fire it is, and all of the pin fire and everything, and then you go like that, and then it just goes flat.
Yeah.
So to be able to see that on screen just goes to show what it is to the eye, because the amount of time I've seen it and I've been like, wow, that's amazing, look, and you see nothing. To be able to see that has got to just go to show how amazing it is, and for that price, it's just got to be.
Look at all those colours, ladies and gentlemen. It's just mesmerising, isn't it? Don't you think? It's just captivating. Shadowing it only slightly, because obviously I can't shadow it that perfectly, but if you can see the amount of kind of pin fire on this and flash and ribbon style that I can, then you most certainly know you're getting yourself a treat. We're not used to seeing opal at a price like this of late, are we?
No, normally when you see one of that quality, you're looking at around about the £50 mark.
Yeah.
And I've bought the opal at the £50 mark because it's just beautiful. So to get it for that price, again, it's something that I would get. And even if you don't know what you're going to do with it, just have it, because you can't pass something at that price for that quality.
You really can't, can you? And it is the quality we're talking about here, to be able to get that amount of colour. Don't forget, for me, it's not anything we've faked. We haven't faked that at all. We haven't added a filter to our camera. We haven't put a, coating on it to give it that look. We haven't painted bits on this. It's genuine, real deal, natural Ethiopian opal from one of the most difficult locations to get this gemstone, from one of the most unusual manners of procuring this gem, but also for me, most certainly, one of the most beautiful gems on the planet. It's gonna go with everything, I think.
Yeah, do you know, I did a show last week and I had labradorite drops, very similar to the amethyst, but a bit more elongated. And one of my favourite styles to do is just to have that drop, do a little bead cap almost wrapped around the top of it, and then just a tassel of gemstones exactly like that. So for someone like you, for your birthday, you could have a little pair of earrings and a matching necklace with just one drop of amethyst and a little cluster of those opals just above it. And they're going to catch that light and that fire. And you're doing something personal for somebody as well. You're putting their favourite gemstone along with maybe their birthstone or something like that.
And there is something spectacular about being able to do that. It's going to go with absolutely everything because it's got pretty much every colour you can think of in there.
I can imagine if we put that with this second kit as well.
Oh yes, absolutely. With the colours you've got in there, it's going to work perfectly. Well done to every single one of you. Exceptional quality at a really low price. Well done to you all. You're going to love that when you get it home. I wish I was applying the wall. At £29.95 for you today on that one. Now, I'm going to be bringing you some earring findings, and these earring findings could work really beautifully with this because you've got a big amount of surface area, which is almost reminiscent in shape for some of these opals. You'll see what I mean when I show you. Little shields, they're like. Take a look. Beautiful earring findings. 925 brushed round studs. They work, don't they? Don't you think? What I've got with you here is a really... Well done to everyone, by the way, who got that opal. I'm absolutely chuffed as peas for you. What you get here is a lovely collection of your stud earrings. They've got that wonderful brush detail, which gives a real nice diffused look of the light. Now, the thing I like about that is, because you've got so much silver in these, you could be at risk, let's say, of getting too much of you turn your head, the light hits the surface and it's one big ping back to the eye of light. Because there's so much surface area on these, we decided to diffuse it slightly. So it actually gives you, for me anyway, more of an everyday wear and more of an everyday appeal. If I show you the back of these, are these new? Because I've not seen these before. If I show you the back of these, I've got the little loop at the back there, which means you have the opportunity to attach the likes of your lengths of chain, the likes of your opal, for example, onto there as well. And you do have the butterfly backs too to go alongside this. I've got 3 pairs of these in total, and like I say, massive surface area in them. You're looking at around about 3 grams within these. 10 millimetres on these ones in total. I forgot to say millimetres then, in case you couldn't tell. And these have got a beautiful doming to them as well. Get your hands on a really beautiful pair of big sterling silver earring findings at just £6.95 today. If you want to get your hands on these, now's your opportunity. I'd love to know what you would do with these, Belby.
Well, again, like you say, you could keep them classic and just have them as a plain statement earring, stud earring. You should. There's a potential of being able to stamp on them. The only reason I'm hesitant is because of the fact that the loop is attached to the back of it, whereas sometimes they're sort of on the bottom of the finding.
Yeah, I know.
So there is a potential that if you had the small anvil that we sell, and it's got like a tiny little hole in it. I know we don't have one, but those of you that might have it. Oh, look. Oh.
What? This small anvil?
That small anvil.
Sorry. Not the best side to show you. Studio sample. Oh, what? The mini anvil we have here?
Yeah, that one. The one, yeah. And if you look at it, there should be a little...
Just here?
Yes. And you should be able to pop the post of the earring on there. And then you might be able to stamp an initial or something on it. That's what I'm thinking. As I said, the only potential hesitant is the fact that the loop may be a slight...
But if you did want to say get a name on there, and you didn't want to hang anything from it, you just wanted stubs, you just take that off. You just cut that little loop off, don't you?
So you could still then stamp a little bit of detail onto it. And then, like you say, pop a little hole in with the hole punch if you wanted to do something like that.
Yes, of course
you
you
could. Use the hole punch and then put a hole in it instead of the loop, and then you've got a nice draw. And you could make a pendant finding with that as well.
Great
so you
idea.
could just turn the post over into a little loop and have it on a chain.
Golly, there's so much you can do with these. So it's £6.95. That really is an absolute treat.
Definitely.
Well done to all of you who is already getting your hands on this one. Do you fancy me bringing you the mini anvil, ladies and gentlemen? Because I feel like we haven't seen this in absolutely ages. In fact, if my memory serves me correctly, not since October have we seen this. A really, really long time on this. Now, I have been with you and you mentioned the mini anvil so many times. Tell me why you adore this piece of kit, please.
Just because it enables you to sort of, like you say, you wouldn't normally be able to stamp onto a ready-made earring finding, because obviously the post would be an obstacle.
Of course.
So the fact that you've got that, the fact that it's got that little hole, the fact that it's got these little curves, you can create shapes. You can hammer a round shape around that little section there. You've got curves in it there, so that's ideal for this second kit. The tags that we've got in it, you can place in it, and then you could hammer it into that shape. So
of course you could.
It's just so cool, and it's little as well, so it doesn't take up a lot of space.
No, it doesn't. It's weighty, mind. Don't get me wrong. That is weighty. But don't forget, you don't have to pay extra on the postage and packaging because it weighs more. It's the same postage and packaging, £2.95 from midnight till midnight. So a great bit of kit. You can use this on loads of different things. You can actually hammer and make rings onto it, which is something we don't get to see that often. It's something that you can even do the likes of your, what's it called now, wax wire comb. You could do things like hammer your wax wire comb on this, which again isn't something we get to see often. You couldn't do that on a ring mandrel because it doesn't go up to the wax wire comb point like this one does. So you could do that to work hard, and in particular if you're doing it as a pendant, things like that up on there. You've got all of these quirky little angles and shapes that we don't get on any other anvil that we bring to you here at JewelleryMaker. And like we said earlier, you do get these beautiful loops that you can hammer your pieces into, and like I showed you, I think that for me is like a perfect cuff design. So if I wanted to just get a piece of my strip metal and kind of, you know, hammer a bit out, move it along, hammer it out, move it along, you've got a great way to shape something here. It is a sensational bit of kit. It truly is. This is going to last and last. There's nothing to fall off it or nothing to lose from it. It is what it is. And at this price point, it's a piece of kit that's going to last and last and last and last. It's always been that price, Dion, forever and always. Never has this altered in price alone itself before. I refuse to check. £6.95. We've just dropped the price point on this for you. That has never ever been done before. This is a record, ladies and gentlemen. It's never ever been that before. That is a great deal. These are the type of blanks we're talking about. You know, if you pop your blank in there and hammer it around, you can create that beautiful shape, or that curve, or that curve, or you can do a really sharp angle on the likes of these. These are coming up in your second kit. I can't believe I'm bringing these to you, but I am as part of a kit. I've not brought you a collection like this ever before, but this is exactly what this is going to be great for. It's going to give your looks and designs featured idea. Imagine, now this obviously is a star, but if you wanted to curve off the edge with these, you got your snips, or you're great with your saw, then you could obviously take the corners off this and make it into a flower. Imagine kind of hammering the little petals up, so you could do a really nice, almost like moving flower, or a water lily with this. Actually, you could do, couldn't you? There's so much that this little piece of equipment is going to do for you. There really is, isn't there, Spell? What do you think of that newest ever lowest price point?
I think it's an amazing price, and like I say, even if you've already got one, it's always handy to have a couple, because when you use your anvils for anything like texturing or anything like that, you can mark the anvils as you would a steel plate, just because obviously you're hitting your texture in metal, so in effect you're going to texture the plate if you hit it. So it's quite handy to have a couple, to have one just for your straight hammering with the straight edge, and one with your texture inside.
Perfect. So a little bit of something for everybody. Yeah. There really is. And speaking of something for everyone, this kit I've got coming up in a bit is going to put some of the widest sort of Cheshire Cat grins on your face. It really is. Those blanks, just one element from that kit, but loads more coming up. Names have gone off my screen on this mini anvil. Treat yourself to it whilst you can. A great one to get your hands on. Do you fancy, I showed you this gorgeous strand earlier on, a bit of a showstopper? We're doing it now. Fluorite. I think it's fab to have these shapes back in, because for me, they are your bicones. We don't get to see them that often anymore. I remember when every other strand was a bicone, well, at least it felt that way. I feel like we haven't seen bicones in a long time, but I love them because they tessellate so beautifully. They really do. They interlink, they lock beautifully together as well. And I think it's just so dramatic and dynamic, the way in which they move the light around them. Stunning fluorite in the green colour. What does that mean? You're getting double whammy of glow. Why are you getting that double whammy of glow? Well, first things first, it's because of the gemstone itself. It's fluorite, and what that means is you get all of these elements, these particles internally that kind of move around in here for you when they're activated by certain types of light. But naturally, within the world, there are some colours that are slightly more fluorescent naturally than others, and this is one of them. So that means you've got the fluorescence of the gem, and then you've got the fluorescence of the colour, which actually means you can almost see some of the glow on this right now. Can you see? You almost get that kind of eerie sense of something happening within this gem. That's just a hint of the glow of this. Obviously, it reacts more in UV light, which we're not under right now. So when you wear this out, it's going to give you a gorgeous luminosity and really light up the skin. It's unusual for us to see a bicone. It's so simple to work with, though. If you're brand spanking new, or maybe you've only treated yourself to 1 or 2 strands of rounds before, and you want to mix it up a little bit, these work just in the same way as a round. You don't have to worry about the fact that it's top drilled, and oh no, I'm going to have to briolette wrap or anything else. Use it in exactly the same way as a round, but it gives you a totally different look. Get your hands on this new showstopper treat, green fluorite. Should be. We're going to take this down in price point for you today, even though we haven't seen it in ages, even though it's a shape we hardly ever get anymore, even though it's brand spanking new. £5.95 for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your hands on an absolute treat and a half, now's your opportunity. We do not get to see a double whammy of fluorescent fluorite often at all, let alone in big sizable pieces like this. Well done to all of you coming in. I've got people buying 3s of these at the moment. Hey Linda, say morning ladies. Great designs, Laura. I got breakfast in bed. Oh, lovely tulips and some jet from my gem of a husband. Oh, for Val Day. Oh, Linda, that is so lovely.
That's really sweet.
That's really nice. I love breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
Food that you don't have to walk to is great.
Yeah, it is great. It doesn't happen very often in our house. But
No.
No, it's nice when
It's
it does.
real nice. Oh, what a lovely, lovely man. Oh, thank you for letting us know that. Hey, Susan. Oh, an ombre necklace. Beautiful. Love that idea. Yeah, graduating those designs down in that colour would look really beautiful. Thanks for that, Susan. Great idea. Loads of you treating yourself to this one. Lots of multi-bidders on it because it is that beautiful, gemstone, and it is £5.95. For anyone, again, who's maybe newer to us and hadn't seen this shape before, little number 1 tip for you or an idea from you would be great.
They lock together brilliantly. So for beady beads, they're ideal. They make a perfect beady bead. They're lovely for a tiara type jewellery, or prom or christening, something like that. And also for the right angle weave. Even if you do beading, so you don't have to do wire work, but just the right angle weave. They lock, again, because of the shape of them, they lock together beautifully.
They do, they kind of interconnect nicely. And if you're not sure what a beady bead is or anything like that, don't forget on our website we have the tutorials, we have the step-by-steps, and they have details like that on them. And when we talk about the things like a right angle weave, it helps you get looks like this, where they kind of nuzzle in next to each other. That's what we're talking about. And you can't definitely get that look with many other shapes unless it is this. Colleen saying, morning ladies, I have the mini anvil and it's fab. Good morning to you, Colleen. I think a lot of people would be on board with you with that, Colleen. Are you agreeing?
Oh, definitely. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is a wonderful piece of kit. Loads of you treat yourself to these. I've got to say, many of you double purchasing. Unsurprising, really, when they are this beautiful and that wearable. £5.95. And speaking of beautiful and wearable, get ready for these gorgeous kit pieces. Now, is this coming as one, dear, or is it as 2? It's a 2-parter. I've got 2 mammoth parts here for you. And we're going to bring you the gemstones with the blanks first off. So let me show you what I've got here, because it's just going to put such a smile on your face. First things first, if you've never stamped before, don't worry, we're going to be talking you through it. Or maybe you've been watching a few stamping shows and going, oh, when can I try this out? Now's your opportunity, because the price on this is special. This is called Blankety Blank, by the way. I've got the blanks here themselves, the namesake of the collection. Now these, I personally haven't brought to you before. I brought to you a silver colouring variety of these, but not these ones. I bet you're over the moon that we've got these in.
It was great. I was so excited to start working on this kit. It's just amazing.
I've got all of these mammoth amounts of blanks here for you. If you're wondering what a blank is, well, it's one of these essentially. It is a tag, it is metal, and you get a gorgeous brush detail on them, and it is genuine bare copper. I'm so excited to be able to bring these to you. Bare copper, what does that mean? Well, it essentially means that over time you can get the aging process on this if you want to. It also means that you can affect the colour, you can affect kind of almost the look and texture of these straight away if you want to, by applying additional little techniques upon them. To get these in bare copper is something very special indeed, and it is a very high cost medium as well. You've got a selection of your hearts here. You've got big size on those, 35mm, approximately 5 of them. You're getting the tags as well, which are like the dog tags or the army tags. 5 of those are 35x19, and then you're getting the stars as well. You can apply kind of holes to these, details with these any way you like. You can texture them, you can write in them, and we'll talk to you more about that later on. But genuine bare copper is going to go great with any of your bare chainmail. I'm then bringing to you also within here a lot of your wire. It is your 0.6 wire, again in that copper colour, and it's got 100 meters worth on that spool, and it does just work perfectly with it. It really does. And then the gems themselves, it's like they were made to be put together. It truly is. Over the moon. I'm not surprised you couldn't stop with this kit. This is your stunning, really pleochroic, really multi-tonal, seriously, tanzanite. 134 carats worth on that. So double whammy strander for you at the moment. And you've got an 8x2 in some areas on this. Genuinely, when you get this home, you too should be able to see some of those pinks and lilacs. And that's a great quality aspect and attribute to this. And then bringing to you another strand of amethyst, which would go fantastically with the drops I had for you earlier on. Wonderful rondelles, big surface area on these, and that means you really get to the heart of this gemstone. You really get to see that serious clarity in aspects of these, but also it means you get more of that hue, that intensity to the eye, which I just love and adore. Perfect, of course, for all of us February chickens. And then, last but by no means least, these almost remind me of the abalone that we had on earlier in the first kit. You know, the kind of domed ones that we had. Why? Well, because they've got that kind of look about them. They've got that coin-like look about them. They've got that stunning kind of movement to them. Aren't they unique? Peacock cultured flat coin pearls. I've not seen anything like that strand before. So for me to be able to pair them with this collection, that is something very special indeed. And let me just show you them. I mean, with the likes of that metal, it just works, doesn't it? So come on in, get your blanks, get your wire, get all 3 of those strands today at one fantastical price point. Blankety blank. Again, just £29.95. Blanks, ladies and gentlemen, are an expensive piece of kit to get your hands on. I remember when we used to be doing 3 of these, or was it 5 of these, and they'd be £9.95. I'm sure it was 3. They'd be £9.95, but that wouldn't be in bare copper at all. That'd be copper with kind of the silver over the top. To get your bare copper, actually at this moment in time, more expensive than it would be to get the previous ones that we brought to you. Why? Well, because copper has gone up in price, and also because kind of craftsmanship that's gone into this as well. And don't forget, it's a very sought after medium at the moment. That is phenomenal. It's a huge price drop we've done on that. Absolutely mammoth. I mean, realistically, on your RRP, you're looking at almost half price on this one. So a sensational deal for you. It truly is. Loads of you flying in for this, which is also great to see. What a wonderful price point for all of that.
Yeah, it's just, I want this kit. It's something I want to go home and just work with time and time again.
Yeah. because it's just capturing imagination so much, doesn't it? Hey, Laura, she's saying, morning, ladies. Trying to catch up on my marking. But keep getting distracted by fab deals. Thank you. Hello, Laura. It's half term, isn't it? Lovely, Laura.
Ah, see, mine went back. Mine was last week.
Oh, yours was last week.
It throws me out when I see him. I'm like, why? What do you mean marking?
Yeah. Ours is this week.
Yeah, mine went back. They're gone back.
So it's feed up for you.
Oh,
Hello, Mary. Good morning, girls. I need some sterling silver heart charms, please. JM, bring us more soon. We're going to try. We'll ask. We'll keep our eyes peeled for you. And don't forget, Mary, we might have some charms coming up for you with precious metal this weekend, starting on Saturday. Susan saying, they make me think of a hot summer's day where we go to wear beautiful cooling pastels. Yeah, I like that as an image. You're right. Well done to all of you getting these. And I've got to say, you know, in your designs, you can see how spectacular they are together. They really are something special. Like I said, this is a 2-part kit. So, am I bringing the wire now? Did you say? So I'm going to bring the second part of this kit. The second part of the kit doesn't come with any blanks. If you want blanks, they're in here. It doesn't come with any gemstones. If you want the gemstones, they come in here, including that. I mean, come on, the pearl and the amethyst, just phenomenal, aren't they? Together with the tanzanite. Bringing you wire now. That is weighty. You're getting loads of this. Oh my goodness! I feel like I'm at the gym. Not that I know what that feels like. I've got for you here a mammoth amount of your metal wire. Now, this is your copper colour wire that we have here, and you've got a huge amount. 1 mil to start off with, a massive 50 metres on this. That is a huge amount you get, really very, very weighty. And then I've got the square wire. Now, square wire, very special for us to bring to you, in particular in this colour. We very rarely see it. So ladies and gentlemen, get yourself on that phone line right here, right now. I've got 0.6 and 0.8 on these two together, just to let you know. And just to remind you that this £17.95 wire, which is the 1 mil, is 50 metres worth there. So £17.95 for that one alone. Bit of a queue on this already, I'm afraid to say, but it's worth it. Stay exactly where you are. If you hang up and ring back later, you may well miss out. The queue is because the price is ridiculous and because it's a product selection that you want to get your hands on. You ready for this? Yeah, £14.95. That means we've taken a massive chunk of money off this one and then given you these two for free. Free square wire in this rarely seen colour is very, very special indeed. Phone lines have absolutely lit up for that. I mean, you're absolutely going loop-de-loop for it. And again, just to show you, it goes great with your blanks. It goes perfectly with them. It really, really does just go fantastically well. It truly does. And I mean, with the likes of the gemstones as well in that kit, it just works. And if you want to see how well it works, we're going to head on over to the lovely Spellbinding Laura Binding to have a little look at her amazing makes with these. Both of these have been extremely popular. Names have just gone off my screen for that second section. For the first part of the kit with all the blanks and that wire and all three of those strands, including the likes of a tanzanite, that's only got a handful or three left as well. So do come in and get it whilst you can. And do feel free to feast your eyes over what else we've had previously on the show, because we've had some great treats for you, we really have. And I want you to feast your eyes upon this collection. Tell us a little bit about this, Spellbase.
Well, I just loved it. Well, first of all, obviously it's got tons of wire. I do a lot of wire work. But I wanted to go with my heart on this one and do the style that I would naturally do. Mm-hmm. So I had to do that one. The first thing I did. Do you remember when we did the BFF show back in the old studio? And I was really. And the one thing I said to Pip was, "Oh, if I just had some hearts or something," and in my mind I was like, "You could break the hearts." It's typical. So the first thing when I saw this was, I had to do these necklaces.
Bestie!
So there's actually two necklaces there, but obviously when they're together, they're one.
Love that.
But the gemstones, I don't know whether it was fluke, is my birthstone and your birthstone.
Yay!
So I just thought, wow, it had to be done really, and there's a little drop on the back of them as well.
That's perfect, isn't it?
And the other thing is that tanzanite is my mum's birthstone.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's really quite personal for me. So like the necklace, probably, but that one just says "Love you to the moon and back."
Love that.
And I thought it was just a bit, you know, a bit fun. I've cut a tag in half, so you know, I've pierced one of the heart tags, and I've made a little smaller heart shape, and then I've made a ring out of that little heart. So I mean, I still have 3 of the blanks, tons of the 1mm wire, obviously.
Wow.
That one I've just cut and textured and just put chain in, but you could put names down the side. Can you show?
And that's the one that you've taken the centre out of to do that.
Yeah.
That's really clever, isn't it? Using every single element of this. And yeah, do you want me to show this necklace whilst you talk it through?
So basically, I wanted to do something, again, that's personal. So this would be really personal to me because it's Tanzanite was my mum's birthday, and then I've got a plain blank on the front, but when you open it, it says Kayla and Jackson and their date of birth. However, I will point out I did go wrong on the 5, and I'll explain why that happened. And I got a pen and I coloured Jackson in blue and Kayla in pink, and then just cleaned it up so it's got that soft tone of colours
it's really
on it.
pretty.
It's just something that it means that you can make a personal gift, you know, and like I say, you can just the bracelets that I made for. They're sort of anniversary bracelets, really. There's one that's got pearl, which is my birthstone, and that says always and forever, and on the back of it, it says my wedding anniversary. And then
They're so lovely.
the 2 next to it, one's got, again, it says always and forever, and it's got amethyst on it. And on the back, it says your anniversary.
Yeah, it does.
And then we have the matching one for your boyfriend on the other side. And on the back of that, it says your date as well.
Spelby. Isn't she lush? And you've made that with your square wire, haven't
Yes,
you?
I made all of the jump rings, but just did a simple Byzantine link, and then obviously I put some of those same ones in with yours so that you've got something that ties it in. So it's just personal.
Yeah.
You can really personalise your jewellery.
Which is exactly why we get into it, isn't it? We're going to be learning some techniques right here, right now. So where are we going to start, Spells?
Well, to be honest, I just thought we could have a bit of play.
Yeah.
I will show the earrings because they are just one tag that's been broken in half. I mean, this is what I've got. I left the 1mm wire at home because I just grabbed some stuff. But I mean, I've still got Tanzanite, Amethyst.
We've got loads left over.
Yeah, loads. And I've still got 3 of the blanks.
That's fab.
Because it was one of those where, this is where I said I had to stop. You know, it's like, need to stop now. You know, I've got a pair of earrings there.
Yeah.
You can make a unisex, again, just put stamp a date on the back of that one and pop it on a chain, and then you've got something that can be worn by anybody. So what I've got to do is, as I said, show the earrings. Now, I didn't hold this was going to be an and back one. Okay. So for this, what I'm going to do is use a little bit of everything, really.
Okay, great.
So my desk at the moment is complete and utter bomb site because it's just like everything everywhere. So I want to cut this in half, and I want to take advantage of the fact that it was angled and angled, which means that I could get sort of cool-handed earrings that would, you know, it's making the most out of something that you've got.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Beverly's saying, got mine, can't believe the price, 50 metres of the rose gold plated as well, and square wire, it's my face.
It is,
Great deal.
and that means those 50-metre wire, like I said, I've barely touched it. All I used it for, really, was to make some jump rings. The rest of it has just been made with what you have in the kit. It's just a bargain.
Laura, the split pendant is wonderful. What an inspiration.
Oh, thank
Absolutely
you.
agree. It's fab, isn't it? Okay, so we've got our shears out.
I've got my shears. Now, I see that you've got this, so I will show you an alternative. Oh, this weighs a ton.
We have got this on the show today, and this is exactly what Spelby is working with here today. She's already brought her own with her.
Yeah. And I bought mine for a reason, because it's got everything in one.
Everything in one place. We're getting it on your screen right now, just whilst you get out the snips on this. You have in here your letter stampers. You have the tin snips with this, which we're going to be cutting these pieces with right here, right now. You've got a hammer, which is perfectly weighted for the likes of your stamping. And you've even got in here your block as well. That block in there, it's obviously packaged up, but you get that steel block as well. And that means, well, basically you've got everything all in one space, but also it means that even if you do already have a hammer and block that maybe you just use for texturing or whatever, it can actually have an effect on your pieces that you use in the future upon it. So use this just for your stamping collection. You get all of this. It's the deluxe stamping collection. £27.95 is your should-be price. That's already beating just the stamps alone on the price points I used to purchase them at. For you today, £14.95. And yes, it comes in the case, and yes, it's a zip-up case, and yes, it's all in one place, exactly what you need. Truly, this is going to last and last and last, and it's got the numbers in there as well. It's such a great price point.
Do you want to show the chainmail one? Because I've actually used the stamps on the back of that one from this kit, because for most of this I love the sort of the fun quirky stamping, but because I was going for the gentleman's version, I didn't think you might not like the slightly curly quirky one, so I went for the more standard one, so it just says
really legible, isn't it? Really legible.
My dots are slightly off, so sorry about that, I was getting a bit late, but
that's nice.
you know, it's
so you know it's been made.
But you could oxidise that, and then what I did was I textured the front, because when you do stamp, and I will explain this, it does go through to the other side, you can see. So I stamped, but then I turned it over and textured it, so it distracts from that marking, and you can patina it or whatever.
Wonderful. So get your hands on that, because we're using it now. These are the snips from the collection.
So you have some snips here, and then you have the tin snips here, which are obviously separate, but we supply both of these, so whichever ones you feel are better, really. These ones are good for slightly, if you want to get a bit of a more of a curve, you've got a little bit more flexibility. If you want to just go for a nice straight line, these are pretty good for that, okay? So I'll pop these ones to one side. Now, I can never do this very good, but basically you can use like a metal ruler and draw a line with a marker if you want to, or you can just see, this is why mine are never 100% straight, because I just think, that's too much. So yeah, just going to go, actually I'm going to turn it this way because I want to get down the middle of that hole.
Yeah, I see.
So if I do it this way, I know I'm going to get that. I'm just going to cut.
And this, don't forget, is bare copper, so it's so sturdy, but actually with the quality of the snips that we bring to you, it really is just so simple to do, and it gives it a beautiful soft look too.
There you go.
Fab.
I actually did that better than I did the ones I made. The ones I made were sort of
taking your time.
Yes. So I can look at these and I can see that one's slightly wider than the other. So if I was doing this properly, I would go back in with these, and you can just kind of gently
take away little bits at a time.
Yeah. Just be careful when you're doing this. You will get, because this copper can be sharp.
Don't forget as well, you can use the likes of those tin snips that we brought to you on things like your wire as well, and you can use it on your sheet as well if you want to.
I use this for my jump rings as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Because when you do make your own jump rings, you have to, if you're using your flush cutters, you have to flip them over. But with these, you don't have to. So I actually used my pliers and then made my own coil and then used these to cut it.
Perfect. Fab.
Okay. So you would take your time, but I've just trimmed that a little bit more, and you can see it's looking more even in the shape. Now, that has still got a little bit of the hole there. So again, I would just very gently take that time to just trim that again, just to get it a bit more even.
Okay, fab.
The other thing that you would then go ahead and do, because obviously if I hold this up, you'll be able to see it's got a few sharp jaggedy lines. Now, that's because, one, I was doing it a bit quicker, but two, when you do cut with these shears, this can happen, because obviously you're kind of doing this, and it will create that. But take some files and just gently file that away, and you'll be absolutely fine. The other option that you've got is the saw.
Okay, fab.
So you can just hand saw it if you felt that was better. So whatever you feel comfortable with, but make sure you do get rid of these little sharp edges, because they can be dangerous. Okay, so when you've done all of that and you've filed it, so we do supply the files. We've got several files, and I would make sure, we've recently started making copper. We've recently started doing silver sheet. So I would say if you work with the silver sheet and you work with the copper, keep the two separate, keep your tools separate, and I would even say potentially get a second stamping kit, because sometimes I've noticed when you stamp into the copper, you look at the stamp and you'll see it looks copper on the stamp.
I see. Okay.
So I would say, especially at that price, get to keep them separate.
Great.
Okay. So we would have filed that and made it look all pretty. So there's a couple of things you can do with it then. if I was doing the earrings, which is I then simply got, and I'll just show you how I did one, and then I'll show you how we can stamp and shape on a different one. A length of wire. I've got the 0.8 square, and there's no drill hole in these earrings, so it is purely held by this wire.
Fab.
Okay. Now you do need to hand them, which means obviously that you need to make sure that they are mirrored. So when you've got it like that, make sure that they're nice and handed.
Yeah.
And then take round nose pliers, take a length of wire, go down it a couple of inches and create a loop, just a wrapped loop. Okay. Then place it onto your blank, and then you just want to think, well, I want that to kind of, you need to kind of grip it. So you've got one side of wire on one side and one on the other.
Got you.
And then you just kind of want to grip that.
Got you.
And then go around. You can kind of get it to hook. Because it's flat, square, it really molds against the wire,
Wow.
the metal.
That's good.
And then you can just do that. And then what I did do was a tiny loop, so you have got an option if you wanted to add chain or something to the bottom if you wanted to make a drop, because you could just undo the loop. So you would just do that, so it's a nice finish on the back. And then with this front part here, you can just cut that and cause it into a spiral. But obviously, make sure that what you do, you can mirror on the other side.
Oh, you could make a mod, I suppose, couldn't you?
You could, or you could just get a left-handed friend to make one and you make the other.
Oh, clever.
Because then you can guarantee that you'll get mirror images. But that's actually held. But what I would then say is take your nylon pliers and really flatten, and it then really grips that piece of metal.
And work hard, doesn't it, as
really
well?
is
In place, wow.
locked.
How easy is that?
So that's how you can make that really cool, simple earring finding. You can make a pendant with it or whatever you want. Okay?
I love that. That's easy.
That was so easy. I was quite chuffed with that. I was like, oh, fluke.
Love that.
And so if you want to shape or stamp, so we've got the sandbag here. So you'll notice that some of the pieces I've actually shaped to have a slight dome. So I'll use a star for this. But basically, use your sandbag if you've got one. Use the rounded end of your hammer, and mind your fingers. Just gently, you just want to hit, and you want to just sort of take your time, and you'll start to get a curve in the middle.
You can see that, yeah, you can see that.
Because this is domed, well,
Yeah.
it's not domed because it's going down, it just gently curves. Now we do
That's
have
nice.
dapping blocks and things like that, but because this is angled, it's got like points.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm doing this really super quick, but... And you can kind of hold it a bit like this. And just to get that gentle curve. And that's only very subtle. But, if I
But it
hold
really changes the light.
yeah, it just changes it. And that's what I did with the heart, just to get that depth in it. So I used the and sign to stamp on that out of the stamping kit. Coloured it in pink and then just buffed it up. And then just domed it so that it's got, and again, it's got that little drop of pearl and tanzanite.
That's great. Wendy wants to know, can you use the Dremel on these?
Certainly can, and the Dremel's got a really good advantage because with a hole punch,
Yeah.
you're limited to how far
Into
the piece you can go. So, you know, if you wanted to get sort of in a particular place, you might be restricted by the point, say, there. So with a Dremel, if I remove that, you can just go directly wherever you want. You can just put a little spot on with a marker pen and go directly where you want, and you will then be able to pierce it quite easily.
Okay, fab.
Okay, and I'll just very quickly touch on how you stamp. Be super quick. Now, I said that I had an error on mine where I did the date and it bounced.
Yeah.
Don't use anything like this. This is a macrame board. It's got a bounce to it. And sometimes I keep mine set like this. Now, it still gives a little bit of movement. It's just basically on a nice flat surface is less likely to get that bounce back.
Fab.
Okay. I am going to use this just because I don't want to break this. I think that's been done before. And if you wanted to stamp, and this is a little tip that our ex-guest designer Debbie Kershaw told me actually, just get some masking tape to hold your piece in place. Now I've got a straight edge on this masking tape, so I'll be able to then go and create a straight line and hold my piece in place. So that's going to give me almost like a ruler edge line to hold in place and keeps my metal secure. And then whatever word you're planning on doing, what I did was got all of the letters out for the word and then found the centre. So if, for example, you're saying always, so you've got A-W, A-L-W, A-Y-S. So you've got 6 letters. So I sort of went for around about the W.
Yeah.
And then what you would do is, just find that letter quickly, place it on and place that in the middle.
Okay.
And then you can work either side with the rest of your word.
I see.
So I'm using my masking tape as an actual guide, keeping everything secure, and then just hit it once.
And there it is, perfectly crisp.
Because again, I was hitting it twice sometimes, and again that causes that bounce back. So just hit it once, and then you would just build your word, the rest of the word. So I'd put A's out that way and all that way, and that will help get that balance.
Lovely, thank you so much for showing us that. Oh, hello, Veronica, saying great show. Great workshop the other Sunday, Laura. Just finding the time now to get on with some practice with those delicate designs. Yeah, because you did your...
I did the high-end workshop.
You did your new high-end workshop,
I'm glad
didn't you, on Sunday? Oh, yeah. Hello, Barbara. Morning, ladies and JM crew. Stunning designs, Laura.
Thank you.
Right, aren't you? They are just stunning. They really are. I'm really quickly going to bring to you the some added extras to use alongside your blanks that we don't see them often at all. These ones are your forming blocks that we have here, and again, perfect for forming the likes of these detailed and designed pieces of metal and many more. Essentially what you do is you have the corresponding shapes and sizes to each and every individual one that will fit into the right sizes, and what we can do in here is you can place the likes of wire and blanks, can't you? Mm-hmm. And what we'll do, just like we do with the dapping block, hammer in on top of there, and it will create a form into each of your blanks or into your pieces of wire, from really, really delicate all the way up to the much, much larger. It's a great bit of kit because it's something that, whether you want something super duper gentle and easy, or if you want something very stern, you've got it here. Who fancies a brand new lowest ever price? It's always been £10.95, which is a special, special price point for you. It's so easy to use, it truly is. Even good for things like earring forming if you wanted. £8.95, never ever been that low before today, ladies and gentlemen. So do get your hands on it if you wish to. It's such a simple piece of kit, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I have this at home, and it's great if you work with any kind of metal sheet in any way, because, like you say, you can place the metal in whichever groove you want, and obviously the smaller the groove, the sort of the finer the sort of groove will be.
Yes,
obviously, if you just want that kind of curve, then you would go for the larger groove. But I've done like a leaf before, so I've gotten cut out a leaf shape of metal, and I've placed it in there, and then just in the smallest one, and so it's folded it, and then you can fold the metal back down, and then you can texture it, so you can really play about with it. It's a great piece.
A really great bit of kit, and we haven't seen it for a very long time, let alone at that price point, ladies and gents. And don't forget, you know, they do have kind of the corresponding holes within them, but you can use some of the smaller pieces with the larger ones if you need to. For example, if you've got a really thick wire you're using, you can use those ones together as well. Hello, Shirley, saying, yay, my 2 favourite ladies. Loving your designs, Laura. Not trying stamping yet, but think I will now.
You should.
I genuinely think you should. I love this. Something about stamping. It's so personalised, isn't it?
Well, that's what I loved about this. And as I said, I know I had all that wire, and I know I could have done tons of wire work with it, but for me, I just thought, do you know what, if I bought this kit and I sat at home with it, what would I make?
Yeah.
And this is what I would make. And you know, you could, those little amethyst drops, you could pop one of those in the middle of that heart. So you could have a gemstone suspended in the middle of that heart. So there's just so many options. What I love about it is it's done for you.
Fab idea.
You haven't got to cut those shapes out. It's done.
It's done and dusted, and it is bare copper, by the way, on those ones. I've now got your dapping block. We were talking about this a moment or two ago. This is a dapping block which comes in many, many different sizes, again, for the amount of dome that you get with these. With the likes of this one, you get a very small detailed dome. On the larger ones, as you can see here, it's more of a gentle curve, let's say. You can use loads of different shapes in here, you know, popping these within here and using the 2 different sides that you get alongside this again with your hammer to just ease those into shape. It is a great piece of kit, all in one place at £3, ladies and gentlemen. A naughty little price point there, but hey, if we can't treat you today, when can we? A real deal for you today. And of course, you do get those 6 different sides on that. Okay, everyone, let's head on over, see what you've been making in the Wall of Fame. Starting with the Wall of Fame with Spelby.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay, number 109. And it says, hi all at JM, here is my entry for the Wall of Fame this week. Unfortunately, the picture doesn't do the Tahitian pearl necklace any justice, but my sister loved her present and couldn't wait to wear it. Without JM, I wouldn't be able to make such lovely gifts, so I'd like to say thank you to you all. Good luck to everyone who enters the Wall of Fame this week, and that's from Sally in Yorkshire. And that's beautiful. Now,
so
knowing
thoughtful.
what the stone is, you can.
I can imagine
Yeah,
that
you can
completely,
see,
and
yeah.
I bet she loves it. Speaking of love, this is really funky. 110 belongs to Eileen. It says, my entry for this week, not sure the stone, I think it's coloured hematite, but are quite big chips. I got loads of colour in it, and that is thanks from Eileen. Well, Eileen, I absolutely love that piece.
Yeah, that's stunning. You can imagine that's just going to look so cool with any outfit.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it's a hematite. It's hard to
could
say.
be.
I'd have to see it in real life and to feel it. Could be though. It's beautiful, whatever it is. 110 for you.
This is lovely and very classic. It's number 107. Hi JM, please find attached my entry to this week's Wall of Fame. I finally plucked up the courage to use my strand of black spinel, which previously had been lovingly admired / stroked and put back in a safe place. I have teamed the spinel with freshwater pearls and sterling silver findings to make a suite of jewellery, which I will have to keep for myself. All items, apart from the earring clips, are from JM. Hoping for a win so I can buy some more spinel. Good luck to everyone in the draw. Kind regards, and that's from Shirley. That's lovely, very classic.
I think
Love
that's fab, so classic. And now a bit of beautiful texture fabric, 111 belonging to Julie. And it says, hi all, my latest piece, work micro macrame and crochet boho chic necklace. Hopefully will make the Wall of Fame. And this will be my first. Oh, yay. Good luck to you all, keeping up with the wonderful tutorials from the guest designers. And that is Julie from Staffordshire. Thank you very much for sending that in, Julie. Keep sending them in. 111's your number.
That's amazing. And this is great. I love this. Fleur would love this, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
And Jenny. Number 108. And it says, this week's entry, it's a pin for a scarf or hair. My first attempt at wire shaping, don't laugh. Lol. And that's from Rebecca in Windsor. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good.
Brilliant.
I love that. Thank you for
Yeah.
sending that in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it has arrived. We didn't know whether or not it would get into the studio. All I'm going to say is you have to stay tuned to find out exactly what I'm talking about. But for any of you connoisseurs, I'm just letting you know that I personally have never seen this gemstone before, and I don't think we have at JewelleryMaker at all. I've got less than just under 50 chances at this. It's a one locational gemstone from a very special part of the world. Join us after the break for what I think is a brand new gemstone to us here at JewelleryMaker.
Join resident designer Sheila for our Bridal Headwear for Beginners DVD. Sheila will guide you through an array of beautiful bridal designs, including a pearl tiara, the star hair comb, a twisted spiral tiara, and much more. This DVD is packed full of inspiration and helpful hints and tips. To get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
In the UK, luckily for consumers, we have the Hallmarking Act that's some 400 or 500 years old now, and it protects the consumer against scrupulous people that are mis-selling gold and mis-selling silver. So it's different on different weights. For silver, you have to hallmark anything over 7.5 grams, or it's a strange number actually, it's 7.78 something, which is the old penny weight. The government decided they didn't want to have to hallmark their own pennies, but anything more than the old penny weight, you have to hallmark. When it comes to gold, being a more precious metal, they decided that anything over 1 gram, any article of gold over 1 gram, must carry a hallmark if it's set into jewellery. In fact, if you get right at the top end at platinum, anything over 0.5 gram needs hallmarking. But the great thing with gold is when you're putting gold into a jewellery piece that you're making yourself, you really are, what I say, adding inherent value. Gold will always be gold, it will always be kept, it can always be melted down and turned back into cash later on. And I always say that gold is like wearable investments. It's a way, and certainly all my good friends in India, where we make most of our lovely jewellery, they also really subscribe to this belief that every spare penny you've got, you put into gold because you can wear it, you can enjoy it, and it's there for the family, the next generation.
Did you know that no matter how many times you purchase with JewelleryMaker in the same day, you'll only be charged one postage and packaging fee?
We are live every day from 8 AM to 9 PM. So come and join in and get creating with JewelleryMaker.
Did you know that the JewelleryMaker phone number is free from a UK landline? Now you can spend those extra pennies on more shopping.
Tune in this Saturday for Gems of Distinction rubies and precious metals.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you the opportunity to get your hands on one of the rarest and most unknown executive gemstones in the world. Take a little look. This is your chance. Well, 50. Mouse it. This is the gemstone that I was hinting at, I have been hinting at throughout the show, but I couldn't mention it in case we couldn't get it in. It literally got through the door approximately 20 minutes ago, and that was it. Such an extremely rare gemstone I've got for you here. It really is. Totally and absolutely natural. Connoisseurs, get yourself on the phone lines for this one. Tell you, it's something very special indeed, a collection of your cabochons. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this, if I may. First things first, what is that name about? I know, it's really unusual, isn't it? It's actually named after the location in which it was originally found. It was found in quite a small village, in fact. Let me get this up for you. It was found in quite a small village in Burma. So it's one location in the North Hemisphere, kind of the northern area of Burma. That's the location that it's found in. So it was found very close to a little village holding the same name, and that is the only place in the world we have ever found this gemstone. It's never been found anywhere else. So it was named after its location of its first and only discovery. One locational gemstone there for the purposes of this, which essentially means you know already you're getting yourself something very executive and rare, because when we think one locational gemstones, those big names come to mind, the likes of your Tahitian pearls, the likes of your tanzanite, the likes of your Russian diopside, for example. All of these things spring to mind. Now, this gemstone discovered relatively recently, which might be one of the reasons you've not heard of it, discovered in 1963 this gemstone was, so it's a relatively new one to us. And it's a really interesting gemstone. it's quite a confusing gemstone, and I would always say to you, if you're going to be doing research on a brand new gemstone that maybe you've not seen before, I would always say do your research and then double, triple and quadruple check that research out of different sites, because there are some people in some places that can almost give you a feeling of this that isn't absolutely and completely transparently true. What is the feeling about it? Well, it's the fact that it is described by many as a type of jade. Now, why do people describe it as a type of jade? Well, first things first, look at the colouring on it. It's almost got that jadeite look, hasn't it? It's almost got a mixture of jadeite and a mixture of nephrite. It's got that kind of look about it, hasn't it? Another reason that this has been kind of thought to have been a jade is because of the location. And the location for this gemstone is literally a few meters away from the location where they mine imperial jade. So for a long time it was kind of described as a jade. The fact of the matter is it does have a lot of attributes similar to that of a jade. Even the likes on a Mohs scale, it's a little bit harder than your hard jade. It's around about 7, which for me makes it brilliant because it's even more wearable than some of your other types of jade that are a little bit softer. But you can understand when they thought it was a jade. The GIA described this as the cousin of jade. The way I would put it to you is, you know ruby zoisite, we bring you ruby zoisite quite a lot, don't we? I would never bring you a ruby zoisite and say, this is a ruby, would I? It's a ruby zoisite. This is the same. It's made up of elements of a jade and made up with elements of feldspar, but that does not technically make it either of those two, if that makes sense. What I do have here, though, very much like jade, is that beautiful jade colour. I've got that beautiful location where we mine the likes of imperial jade, and I've got that beautiful notoriety and interest because it is extremely rare, just like jade. If you want to be one of around 45 people to own this today, now is your opportunity. You've got to be exceptionally quick on this one. You do. Hi Becky, love these. Do you think they'd look good with green amethyst? I think they would look phenomenal with green amethyst. Yeah, I really do. Do you know what they'd look great with as well? The likes of something like this. What do you think? Coming up for you in a little bit. This is a very special gemstone for you here, ladies and gentlemen. It really truly is. If you want to get your hand on something which is totally and absolutely opaque, it's got that emerald and jadeite-like colour with almost those kind of turquoise-esque internal detail. And if you want something which is super duper kind of detailed, let's say, now's your opportunity to do so. This is a stunning cabochon collection for you here. I've got a collection of 4, just to let you know. You might get 5, you might get 6, you might get 3, all dependent on the actual carat weight. But if you want to get your hands on something exceptionally rare, now's your opportunity to do so. Your price point today, ladies and gentlemen, I am in my last chance saloon on this right here, right now, so do come in and get it whilst you can. They're so individual, they're so unique, a beautiful look to these. It really is exceptional. It did used to be referred to as jade albites. Apparently it still is. It's one of those things that the GIA does not recommend you kind of mention. And it's like when, I'm trying to think of something that we do similar to it. It's like if I was to bring you a serenite now and purely bring you that serenite now as a plush diamond. I'm not allowed to do it. I wouldn't be allowed to do it anymore. Certain locations you can read it up as a jade albite, but it's one of those things that we wouldn't kind of be allowed to do. But if you want to do your own research in that direction, then you absolutely can do it. You really can. Hello Joanna, you all right? I'm sitting downstairs listening to you lovely people and still hearing my husband snoring upstairs. What time is it? Oh my goodness, it's 11. I've been up since 3. Go and wake him up. Go and wake him up. Insist he wake up and stop snoring. Do you snore, Spellbinding?
I don't think I snore. I think if I did, it would be purring.
Oh, that is such a difficult thing for you to say. If I did snort, it would be adorable. Spelby, I would love to know what you would do with this exceptionally rare gemstone.
It's something that I think, like you say, a bit of sterling silver wire, and just let that stone shine. Maybe just net it, maybe cage it, and just have decoration around it, but certainly don't take anything away from the actual stone itself.
No, you wouldn't want to do that at all, would
No.
you? Because every single one of these is just going to tell you a story. Let me show you. You were saying sort of getting a netted idea. Use your imagination, because obviously my fingers are in the way. But imagine something like that. He works nights. Oh, he works nights, hon. Oh, he's finished work at 6 this morning. Oh, Joanne, don't wake him up then. Don't wake him up. That's fine, we'll let him off. We'll absolutely let him off. Oh, bless him. Finishing work a few hours ago, the little love. They go gorgeously together, don't they? Really beautiful. A carved Buddha the size of a palm, apparently, Ollie, my director, telling me. £3,750. It's not the type of money I've down the back of my sofa, that, but hey. Well done to everyone who's getting their hands on this collection. Now, not a massive quantity of these ones left, actually. If you were to work with, if you do have any jade in your collection, obviously that's going to go great with it. If you have any jadeite or jade of any variety, they will go wonderfully with it. Just want to say to all of those connoisseurs, well done for sticking around and waiting with me. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you exactly what these were beforehand, but we had to wait for them to come in. But well done to every single one of you. Which one did you say, please, Dion? Bringing you some S hooks now, as part of a collection. Oh, let's have a look. Do you think, because I would look at these and go copper or gold, but actually, I think silver would go nicely with them too.
I think something like the green is going to go with any kind of colour metal, isn't it? It's something that you could mix metals with, so you could put a couple of different colours in. You know, you would think of something that the silver gives it a more cooling tone.
You're right.
Whereas the copper would make it sort of a warmer, make it more pop.
Rich. Yeah, like a richer tone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you do want to get your hands on the likes of these cabochons, you have the last ditch opportunity. I mean, literally teens on that collection now. Not a gemstone we're going to see again from what we've been told. I've got for you here your silver plated copper flower. Oh, sorry, 4-style. 4-style S-hooks here. And these ones all come in with this lovely kind of gizmoid section in the centre. Now, let me get all 4 of these out. Why do you like working with an S-shaped hook, please, Spelby?
It's my favourite really go-to class because I just think it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to do up. It's easy to sort of use as a clasp. You can tweak it just to make it nice and secure and almost close it just with your fingers. So I like the security that you get with it. When you've got it in that sort of size, you've got links straight away. So you can use that. I would have that as an earring drop.
Yeah.
And I would drop I'd say go back to the amethyst just because it's there and it's an ideal drop. But, you know, one of those amethysts on the bottom of that and just connect it directly to an earring finding. That's going to look really quite cool and contemporary.
Love that idea. It's going to give it a real modern detail and look, isn't it? I have got the 4 styles, as you can see here. You get that centre section. The size on these is the same. It's the centre detail that's different. So can you see you've got gizmo loop and then you've got almost that serpent design running through. The next one to it is just pure gizmo look, I would say. You've then got a bit that looks like it's a gizmo that's been gizmoed. You see what I mean? And then on the final one, you've got that smallest section on there. It's almost like a rope detail going around the centre. So you've got all of these individual looks and you're getting a big amount of each of them. They're 7mm in total and you're getting 12 of each of these designs. Make them into a chain, make them into a bag strap, use them as your earrings or as your pendants. Whatever you want to do with these, have fun with them because you know what, you've got so many to work with. Your price point today on these genuine silver plated copper findings, We've rolled it down to £14.95. It should have been over £21 for you today. So I've taken off a huge amount for you today. It does come in the box as well. Where are we going? It does come in this box too. So you've got kind of your storage detail with these ones, which are really good to keep. Really fab to keep. What do you think of these ones together, please, as kind of a storage box, let's say?
I think it's great. I mean, you can tell I've brought all my stuff in today and I've had the storage boxes. I think the storage boxes that we do are absolutely brilliant. And that is something that once you've used your clasps, I would be keeping something like my gemstone chips or, you know, I often say this, but a gemstone that's got multiple colours to it, such as a tourmaline or a fluorite, where you get that different colour variations. You're then able to, and a lot of the time on our gemstones, it's already graded for you.
Yeah.
So I would just take it off and then have my sort of, that would be my fluorite box, but I have the colour, there's the purple, there's the blue, there's the green, all in that one box.
So that's the perfect thing about the box. It is, isn't it? It's the great thing that we've talked about. £14.95. Loads of you coming in. Hello, multi-purchasers. Lovely to see all of you. Really nice to be with you today. That price point is great for the amount we've got here. Should have been over £21 today, but we have lowered that down for you. Don't forget though, my price point will be going back up at 8 o'clock tomorrow, so do check those out whilst you have the opportunity to do so. And also don't forget, £2.95 for you per day, so that's midnight to midnight on your postage and packaging, which is just a great deal. Even if you haven't opened up your baskets yet, now's your opportunity to do so. Now, I'm about to bring you a piece of kit that the wonderful Spellbee will be able to chat us through. Lazy Daisy, Spellbee, discuss.
Well, it's just an essential, isn't it, really? It's such an... it's such a cool tool. That's all I can say, is because it's compact, it does everything you need, and it makes it so easy. And I've said this so many times before, you know, it is an investment, and I was always a little bit wary before I had it. I mean, it's a lot of money, should I buy it? And that was before it's the prices that we do now. It was when it was a higher price. But as soon as I started using it, I've never ever gone back to any other method of Viking knitting, because to me it's the only thing that you can use. And mine's actually in my bag. It comes everywhere with me, and I actually get the little mini portfolio bags.
Yeah.
I think they were on air yesterday, the little ones. I've got it in there, and I keep all my Lazy Daisy stuff in there.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. It's one of those things you can take with you anywhere, and you can get making. If you're like me and you travel around a lot for the likes of work, it is one of those pieces of kit that's just great for you to take with you. If you've never ever tried this before, it is your Lazy Daisy tool. And it helps you do a Viking knit, essentially, doesn't it, Spellbee?
Hang on, I might have a sample.
Oh, that'd be good if you did. I've got for you here a really wonderful piece of kit. Now, I know the likes of Spellbee often says that this size of your Lazy Daisy is a really great one to learn on, because it is very sizable, it's not as fiddly. I just need to let you know, quantity-wise, I've got 23, that's it, so we're going to get your info on. The reason we've only got 23 is we didn't have this for ages, and when we brought this to you last, we decided to do something very naughty. Should have been, has basically always been, well, it has been in my line of time I've been here, £25, reduced to £19.95. It is so simple to use. It comes with a set of your instructions as well within there, which kind of come in diagram form with explanations and everything else on exactly how to set it up, how to weave with it, and the kind of different looks and designs you can get. And look, these are just some examples proving to you that Spellbee does walk around with this everywhere. A few examples of exactly the looks that these create on the larger ones, and then how you can kind of bring these down in size to give different looks and different details. It's almost a chainmail look, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very, again, it's very unisex look. It's very repetitive. So that, you know, it's Fleur always says about chainmail that she loves the fact that anybody can do it, and it will always look the same. Anybody could sit in a room, everybody could sit down, everybody's piece will look the same. And it's the same with Viking knit. You know, I would say get both tools if you can, because the looks that you can create with them both are completely different.
Yeah. And don't forget, Spelby has done the likes of wonderful DVDs for us that you can get in touch with the call centre about if you want to get your hands on. Just say, you got any Viking Knit DVDs in at the moment? And they'll let you know exactly what we've got in with the wonderful spellbinding. $19.95, first time we've taken this down in price in my kind of awareness, let's say. So do treat yourself to this. You can use it with so many different things, you really can. It just gives you a great look. Wonderful as a starter piece as well. All you need is this and wire.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it comes with everything you need. It comes with the little pin. You know, you don't need anything. It's just something you can sit down, and it's quite therapeutic as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Very kind of take your time with it, enjoy it. You can do small pieces, really long pieces, and it is one of those things we do have a lot of information on the website if you want to get involved with it. $19.95. We are actually going to bring you the DVD right here, right now for this. So if you're getting this for the first time, what are you going to need? You're going to need the tool. You're also going to need 0.6 wire, would you suggest, for starting off?
Yeah, 0.6 and 0.4 are both really good starters.
To start off with, obviously you can use different gauges, it will give you different looks, but to start off with. And of course, you need a little bit of step-by-step tuition. So we have got the DVD coming up for you on your screen in a moment that will tell you exactly how to use this. This is your Viking Knit DVD. We brought it to you at just £4.95. Is this starting off, you know, the Viking Knit just for brand new beginners?
The first one that we do is literally start to finish. So, you know, about the tool. And it isn't about, it's the smaller tool on the first DVD because we didn't have the larger tool at the time. And it's just about how you get started, how
you use it in the same way.
Everything's exactly the same. It's just that tool is a larger diameter. So it's probably a bit easier to learn with.
Yeah, fab.
And it's good for the slightly thicker gauges, like your 0.6. You can space it out better on there than you would on a smaller one. But yeah, it covers everything, adding in wires, how to finish, and sort of just basically how to get started generally.
Fab. So a great DVD, around about an hour's worth of tuition on there. So do treat yourself to it whilst you can. Even if you've never tried this before, all you really need is this and a bit of wire, and you're well on your way. Don't forget, I brought you that 0.6 wire earlier on, didn't I?
Purple.
100 metres worth in the purple. You're well on your way for a practice there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well done to everyone who got their hands on both of those. Okay, everybody, moving across to a draw plate. Now, this is the other piece of essential, and I've got to say that this, for me, is the icing on the cake with your Viking Knit, because what this does is essentially makes your pieces wearable, workable, even, and gives you the exact desired effect. Now, why? Because it doesn't look like a lot, but actually it really is. You're getting your cloth here. Now, this is your conditioning cloth, which helps you settle down your wire. It's a specially designed cloth for it. Got a beautiful kind of feel to it. And essentially, you pop your Viking Knit finish in, and then you give it a little bit of a smooth out. And then at that point, you can take it through the draw plate. This draw plate's going to give you a decreasing size. Oh, Spelby, you read my mind. Can you bring them over for me, though? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Sorry to be a pain. It's just not
used to it.
Thanks. I've got for you here your Viking Knit. Now, this is kind of what the Viking Knit can originally look like. Obviously, this has been through a draw plate because it is beautiful and smooth, but you can actually take this down through other sizes of Viking Knit, bringing you things like this. So it's the same weave, it's the same type of design, but you're getting this look. And that's via drawing it through the draw plate. You go through thinner and thinner and thinner, finer and finer and finer, and you can bring kind of extended designs. That means you don't have to do as much because it can kind of bring them out, but also it gives you a much thicker look to it, if that makes sense. Really easy piece of kit to use. It's the one that all of our guest designers have. It's rolling it down in price today. You ready? Only 41 chances at £7.95. That is an absolute deal and a half. You've got the 11-hole measuring tool and the draw plate with the cloth as well, the kind of relaxing cloth, let's say. It is just a fantastic bit of kit, and you do need it, don't you?
Yeah, but I've said this before. Basically, with Viking Knit, there are several ways people use, like, not always... They wouldn't always use a lazy daisy, so you can use like a a wooden spoon, you can make your own daisy, which is a bit more of a complicated way when you've got a ready-made tool. But some people do prefer that way. But you still, whatever way you do the Viking it, you will always need that draw plate.
Right.
Because you need to draw that piece through and to draw it down. So whichever way you make the knit itself, ultimately that tool is a necessity.
Is the
It's the first thing that I bought when I wanted to do Viking knit. The first thing I bought was that tool because I needed to draw it through, and it's something that you need. It makes it worth. I would just say, sit if you've got time, make a massive long length of Viking knit, and you can cut Viking knit at any point, drawn or undrawn.
Yeah.
And you can draw it through. So I would say I would just make a long length, cut it to size, and then draw it through.
Yeah, so draw it through, and then you've got your finished piece. As Shaz is saying, talking about bed, I'm off to my bed very shortly. Never went to sleep at all last night. So I will say nighty-night to all my fab ladies and gents. Love to you all. Shazza, first things first, what were you doing up last night?
I could do going to bed.
Could you?
That lovely Maggie, I told you earlier, didn't I? Crying.
Maggie, her dog was keeping her up all last night, just sort of barking.
She was just being a little bit of a diva.
She was
unhappy because she hates her bed, and she was in her bed and she wasn't happy. So she started crying and made Benny cry, and it was a night up at the Spellbindings, wasn't it?
And second off, Shazza, don't go anywhere, please, because have you seen what I've got here? Oh. Brand spanking new. That is just fantastic. Stop by. It is such a rare gemstone to have. I mean, all garnet is, isn't it? All garnet, all of the gemstones are a bit unusual and kind of a bit rare, of course. But this is really, really kind of difficult to get your hands on now. If you want it, you have to be quite quick off the mark. Don't get me wrong, I've got more than I did for the extremely, extremely rare Mouse Sits It, but I still don't have a huge amount. I've got less than 100 of this, ladies and gentlemen. It is your Tsavorite garnet. Now, Tsavorite garnet, we don't get to see that often at all. For me, it's one of the more exciting garnets out there when it comes to kind of tales, history, folklore, and kind of the history and looking into the gem. It's really quite inspiring for me. It's a gemstone which, when it was found, it was kind of discovered by a gentleman who loved working with gems, loved gemology so much, and it was essentially found just slightly in the wrong part of the world. It was found slightly over a border, whereby the gentleman who found it, Campbell Bridges, was not allowed to mine for the gemstone there. He couldn't get government to AOK him kind of mining for this. He found it, he discovered it, he said there's a decent amount here, but if the government says no, you ain't getting it. So that therefore meant something that could have just been found and gotten straight away. It meant months and months upon years of kind of battle and fighting for another location for this. What happened was he went to find the kind of vein for this, the stream for this, and continued following it through to a different country. It took a very long period of time, as you can imagine. It meant sleeping out in deserts. It meant sleeping out in areas whereby there was huge creatures roaming the land. It meant sleeping in trees to get away from the likes of lions. It meant essentially living in these very unusual conditions for a very long time until this stream was actually found. And when it was found, he managed to get the AOK on this gemstone. And that meant yet more sleeping in trees, yet more time away from the family. And it even meant that because this was such a prevalent gemstone, because people had heard about it and knew about it and knew that it was going to be one of the next big things, it also meant actually quite a lot of protection was needed for this gemstone, so much so that when he found it in this kind of new stream, what they would do is he got a few kind of miners who he really trusted to come and help him get it. And what they would do is at night time, they would kind of work in circuits of some of them keeping their eye on this. Every single night they would keep the pit like that. But also in the pit, they put pythons, they put snakes, they put venomous snakes, which they would go out and capture in the day to help kind of stop or ward off any poachers or any people that might want to come and steal their wonderful treasure. But that's the kind of status and the type of notoriety that this gemstone was bringing up even at that time. Love peridot, love chrome dioxide, but this feels fresher and lighter. Susan, I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. If I show it alongside that chrome dioxide that I've got, you'll be able to see how different they are. I mean, they're totally different, aren't they? I don't have any peridot with me now, but I'm sure you can hold that picture in your mind. It's a totally different kettle of fish in that colour. It really is. Now, this gemstone is a tricky one. Essentially, in the 70s, at the very, very back end of the 70s, sort of 78, 79, there was around 44 mines for this, individual mines in this very small and kind of remote area. But there was around 44 individual mines for this. Now, there's more like 5 of them, that's it. One thing led to another, loads of these mines have closed, and because of that, we cannot even kind of guarantee demand for this gem. If you want to get your hands on it, now's your opportunity to do so, because it is getting rarer and rarer regularly. Your price point today on this one, now that for something that is extremely rare, and that price for something which gives you this much beauty, this much history, I mean, read into it. It's a really genuinely interesting story. If you like kind of, you know, court battles and details, if you kind of get intrigued by very much human stories built around this, then that is a gemstone for you, truly. I don't think there's a gemstone which has such a captivating story to it, to my mind, when it involves things that are still going on today, things that are still kind of in place, and things that are essentially still being found and followed. And you'll know exactly what I'm kind of getting at if you have done research on this gemstone before. If I haven't, do your research, because it is an absolutely captivating story. It truly, truly is. £24, sorry, and 95 pence for you here today. It's just something special. It really is. XVNV05 is your code on this one today. Get it whilst you can. Very special to have this Savorite garnet. We are rolling it down in price point. Wowzers. £19.95 for you today on that. Whoa, that is an exceptional price point. Let me just outline this for you. Let's stop skating around it. Let's outline this for you. This is one of those gemstones which has literally in the last 7 years has been in the news. It has been referred to in court cases time and time again, because essentially what happened, this gemstone, the founder that I've told you about, the gentleman who found it, who opened those first mines, who owned a lot of the mines in the late 70s, died. And essentially what happened was they closed all of his mines further to investigation because his death wasn't exactly what they would normally expect. So there's still a court case, there's still investigations going on into this gemstone, which is why a massive amount of those mines have closed down. Will they ever open back up again? Possibly not, because actually the family that's involved with it, as you can imagine, it's a very painful thing to kind of think about and to talk about and to deal with. So actually they're not opened at the moment. Will they ever open back up again? We highly doubt it. Do your own research on it, because it is, like I say, a very interesting story. And it is just one of those gems that captivates, and I would say it captivates in a way that no other does. When you get it home, you'll see what I mean, and when you read the story, you'll see what I mean as well. Hi, Maxine. I have 2 Savorite rings I bought from Gemporia. They're beautiful. Maxine, I've got to say, for me, Savorite garnet is my favourite kind of garnet, by miles, I think. Dawn, is Dion in the hot seat? This strand has 1 blue gem. Smiley face. The price did go down, Dawn, didn't it? Obviously, your strand is unlikely to have a blue gem on it as well, just to let you know. Hi Susan, I just like pretty sparkly gems. I just like the pretty and sparkly. I'm absolutely on board with you there as well, Susan, completely. It's a really high-end gemstone strand. Another text coming in. Hey Shazza, okay, just for you and my lovely. I was just watching TV all night. Hee I love that. I will watch only cause a certain fab show that I watch every day has got all my funds for the month. I wonder what jewellery maker show that is. Shazza, I have no idea. I love that you just stayed up watching telly all night. It's like brilliant. That's what I was doing with my big swollen eye the other day. Just sat watching, because I couldn't hobble around like a pirate, just sat watching the telly with my big swollen eye, just through one eye, like this, because the other eye wasn't working.
Feeling sorry for yourself?
Pardon?
Feeling sorry for yourself?
Yeah,
A little
sort
bit?
of. Yeah, well, only a very small amount. Only a very small amount. Sort of feeling like, oh... But hey, we've got a great excuse to just sit on the sofa and chill out.
Be pampered.
Yeah, love that. 19.95 on these nice wet jewel, lots of multi-buyers on it as well. Good on you all. Savarite Garnet, ladies and gentlemen. Great deal for you there. Okay, how do you feel about something a little bit special? Oh, just to let you know, it did go great with that Mouse Sits It as well, if you wanted to get your hands on that. Very extremely rare gem, not many of those ones left at all. It would go great with that. Also, something else that might go a little bit special with it is our Star Buy. Oh. Did you get any of those cabochons that we did of these earlier on? If you did get the cabochon, then what a great pairing to go with it. If you didn't, don't worry, we might have some left, we might not, because we just surprised. But even if you didn't, then these go pretty well, don't they? Do you have any lapis lazuli in your collection? Because I think these work well. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got your 8mm faceted rounds on these lapis lazuli, and they have got such a sparkle to them. Spelby, tell me, what do you like about working with lapis lazuli, please?
I love the flecks of the copper colour going through it. For me, obviously it's my link to copper, same as Dion's link to blue. I love the fact that it's got every stone, even though it's the same, it's going to be different because of those inclusions, because of the fact that it gives that that sparkle. It just gives it that uniqueness. Yeah. And I just think it's beautiful.
It really is eye-catching, isn't it, in the extreme. What I've got here as well is your half a drilled round, and these have got to make wire working a real fun place to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool because you could then, what you could do is create a wire woven pendant and use a bit of glue and just attach that to one piece of wire and have that suspended in the centre of a pendant. So you get that complete look. But again, you can just put them on studs, or you can just have them on wire again and just sort of curve them and just put them on an earring finding.
Fab idea. So you're just going to be able to do something super duper simple in moments, because the workmanship has kind of been done for you. You can use these with the actual findings. You can use these within your wire work if you want to do these kind of little buds, or imagine them as centres. Imagine them as centres, the kind of stamen to flowers. They'd be beautiful, wouldn't they? You can see that this is a collection to really get your mitts on, and also to get your imagination go wild. Ladies and gentlemen, your showstopper today. Just to let you know, all of those people whose names you could just see that, not only have I got way more names on my screen, but also it doesn't tell you how many they've purchased. Spelby, what do you think of that price, please?
It's a no-brainer, isn't it, really?
It absolutely is. You're completely right. Absolutely a no-brainer.
It's for me, it's something you could create a wire woven ring with that.
Yeah.
And what you can do is create almost your own little prong with one of the wires. So if you've got a couple of pieces of wire and you cut one up, it then becomes the prong.
Yes.
And then you've almost got your own set ring really, and then you just place that on again, a bit of glue, and you can do whatever you want, but you're going to get the complete surface of that. I think for that price you just need to get it, just to, even if you don't know what you can do with it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, isn't it? It really is exceptional. £2.95, ladies and gentlemen, a deal and a price point we are not normally allowed to do. I can absolutely promise you that. That is astonishing, isn't it?
I don't think I've seen it that price before, for lapis as well.
Yeah, no. No one's ever seen it at that price point. Is it less than staff cost? Genuinely,
Probably.
less than staff cost. How much is it as staff cost? £3 on the nose. So actually, if me and you wanted to get our hands on this Bulby, we would have to come in and put on one of our strange voices and pretend that we weren't a member of staff.
Yeah.
That is sensational. It really is. Come in and get these ones whilst you can. Are they going to be used by beginners as well as people who've been working with jewellery for a while, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it goes for the medium that you're working with, but imagine if you did resin, and then you could just, because again, you can just place one, because obviously you can put anything in resin, it sets, and it covers it, it's perfect, but you will see if there's a hole in that bead, you'll see it. So if you've got that and you place it in the centre of a base, you're still only going to get the whole of that surface of the lapis. You're not going to see that drill hole.
Yeah, absolutely get that. Loads of you coming in for this. Vast majority of you multi-purchasing, probably because at better than staff cost, you know you're getting a bargain and a deal. And actually you also know you're getting something which would generally be much higher in price point than that because of the quality we're dealing with and also because of the workmanship that goes into something like this. I mean, it is natural, by the way, I should mention, your lapis. It's not a dyed lapis that we've got here. It's the real deal. So at that price, not surprised, it's an amazing deal. Okay, do you fancy some more treats? Let's go for some. Oh, these are chunky pieces. If you love your Labradorite, then you're in the right place with these ones because they're mammoth. Absolutely huge. Nice to have no faceting on this, isn't it really? Because it gets to show off even more that design. You're almost getting cab-like look and quality, but you've got that security of the drill hole in here as well. This is just an exceptional strand. What do you think of it, please, Spells?
I love that strand. It's something that I really want to get, basically. Like you said, I love faceted gemstones. I think they're great. I love the sparkle you can get from them. But there are some gemstones that just look amazing, faceted or non-faceted.
Yeah, you're right.
That's one of them. That's one that you can treat it like a cabochon, but use a drill hole so that you've got that security. And it means that you don't have to worry. You can net around it or Viking it around the outside, but use the drill hole to secure it. So it's going to have like a bezel set look, but you use the drill hole for the security. Yeah,
so you've got that added security there. This is such a special strand, we can't let it go unnoticed. This is a star buy. The quality of this is obvious, and that's why we had to make it a star buy, ladies and gentlemen. Quality like this should not be ignored, and we don't want to do that here at Jewellery Maker one little bit. This is 205 carats worth of your Labradorite, and these are your elongated pairs. When you have so much surface area upon these, you've got a lot of kind of fun, I suppose, to work with within these gems. Every single one is going to give you a different look and a different appeal, depending on what light source you're in, depending on what direction the light's coming in, and every single one of these is going to give you a different array of colours in different areas. I have got a lot of pinks on this one, for example, which is hard for you to see under these lights, but get it home and you really have the opportunity to fall in love with the pink colours that are bursting through some of these. What you've got here, ladies and gents, is a really big strand. A lot of carat weight, a lot of quality, and a lot of aspects of detail. If you want to get your hands on something that you can use and almost imitate the look of a cab, now's your opportunity. Look at all that pink on there. Oh. Now is your opportunity. You've got your Star by Labradorite, 205 carats worth at £17.95, or is it? we're going to take this down for you, okay? Now, this is a bit of a shocker of a deal because genuinely already at the original price point, this was sensational. But at £14.95 today, you are getting serious amount of impact. I mean, look at it from there. You can see it. You would be able to see this from the other side of the room, wouldn't you? And that's under this lighting source. I mean, you can see from where you are as it's moving that that light kind of glides and follows you around. And you are getting that just from, you know, one of these pieces. As you wear this and use these in different manners and you get them in different light source to the one here, you're going to get a stunning look and appeal. You really are. What do you think of that price point? What do you think of that price point of it?
And that's just a fantastic price, isn't it? They're sizable. The shiller on them are amazing.
Yeah.
There's something that I would team maybe with that opal, that really amazing opal that we had in that tassel style design.
Good plan.
So imagine that. Imagine if you had that on a long chain, so coming down to sort of, you know, down to here, and just one of those larger ones, a nice full tassel with all of those opals, really getting all those lights, and then I would just have chain, and you could even make it contemporary with those S hooks that you had, so you can get rid of chunky chain and link them together, and then just have little sections of opal.
Great idea you've got there. Sorry if I made anyone fancy cereal then. Yeah, no, great idea on that. I love that with the opal. And that's what we were saying. When you've got gemstones like this, they kind of will go with anything, won't they?
That's the thing. I mean, you think, obviously, when I do work, I obviously say I primarily do wire work, but sometimes I just love something like that, which is nice and simple, but impact look.
Yeah, definitely an impact look on it. Well done to everyone who's getting their hands on this Labradorite. What an absolute deal you've got there. Just to let you know, again, the start by price point on this, I cannot guarantee it will stay there, so do treat yourself to it whilst you can. It will go nicely with the lapis I brought to you earlier on as well, because of the kind of amounts of colours that you've got in there. Someone's asking, is it dyed or is it not? Now, the graphics at the bottom said it wasn't, but did the title of it say? I said it wasn't dyed, so did the graphics say? We're double checking. Oh, one of them's just rolled away. Come back. It's all right, I'll get it in a bit. We're fine. They're super durable, lapis. Another great thing about them.
It doesn't seem to like you very much today, does it, lapis?
No, it's just rolling around.
Just doing a runner.
Apparently these ones are done. I do apologise for that. At the bottom of the screen, in the actual graphics bit, it didn't say, it didn't have a letter after it, but apparently they are. We've had a little look. And at £2.95, what an absolute bargain. So really, dyed or not dyed. £14.95 is your price on these massive lapis Labradorite. So do treat yourself to those ones whilst you have the opportunity to do so. Oh, hey up, Sophie's back from the shed. I've got 3 of these. They are stunning. They are really eye-catching, aren't they? It's unusual for us to see anything like this.
I love them. But then I love Labradorite. There's something just amazing about that gemstone. Just magical. Imagine that with a turtle or something if you cabbage on set.
Or a narwhal, like earlier. Susan reminds me of a Turner painting. Yeah, you're right. It does, in particular with those kind of elements of the different colours, doesn't it? £14.95 for you. Well done. Now, how do you feel about a really quick bit of a tool? I know, tool. I know that you think this is one of the bee's knees tools, don't you, Spells?
I do. I'm not sure what you were
going. The
going.
cat's pyjamas. The bananas pyjamas.
They're great.
Skin. Peel.
Yeah, no. They're cool. They're very cool. And like you right now.
This is a great bit. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you really like this tool, don't you?
They're on my tool dock.
Yeah, instantly. Now, tell me what it is you love about the bail making pliers, please.
It's that consistency, isn't it? It's that being able to get that consistent shape for everything. But also for me, it is for making bails. It is for making clasps. Is that the larger one?
You've got size-wise on these 3mm and 5mm. The longer noses, yeah, 3mm and 5mm.
That one then, yeah. Mm-hmm. So again, you know, we said about the cabbage ones about making the infinity links on the back or so, or like a link. You can make a figure of 8 with these pliers and then just twist it, put the flat side on, And again, it's that consistency.
Yeah.
Make a chain out of it, but you can make bails, and because you've got that longer length rather than it being stepped. And also the jump rings that I made in the second kit.
Yes.
Are done on that one.
Ah, clever, with the square wire. These are your bail making pliers. They do what they say on the tin and more. At £6.95 for you. So they've got a lovely soft handle as well. Really nice, and a good grip on it as well. Very, very smooth. Just to let you know, Spelby, we're going to be with you in approximately 3 minutes.
Fabulous.
£6.95 for you take. That's just my little heads up, i.e. ounce challenge.
In other words, don't panic. Yeah.
Don't panic. Anyone fancy some 0.8 wire in the gold? Isn't it purple? Yeah, it is. Or in the purple. Now, I had the 0.6 for you earlier. Now I've got the 0.8 for you here. So 0.8 and 0.6, what on earth's the difference? Well, the thickness, of course. This purple is a really nice, rich, deep tone, and I do not know if you recall, ladies and gents, if you don't, have a little look back on the likes of our YouTube or our Facebook page. But a while ago, probably about 9 months ago now, the wonderful Alison Tara used this wire to create a beautiful bib-style necklace. It was absolutely huge. It went right up to the neck and all the way down. It was so ornate and so eye-catching. It was just beautiful. And it was essentially used using this colour, doing loads and loads of different kind of scrolls and details to kind of add together. You've got 100 metres worth of here, which means if you did want to recreate that look, this is going to be the perfect amount for you to do so with. £24.95. Great price for the 0.8, because don't forget it's thicker, so there's more wire, so it's more money to make. Today, though, we've rolled it down for you. You ready for this? £14.95. Yes, we all saw the same. That 2 did just turn into a 1. £14.95 for you today to get your hands on a whopping 100 metres. I mean, this is going to go on and on and on, isn't it? It's really great to work with. Another thing I would say to you too is that if you wanted to do the likes of clasps or loops or grips or the things like the backs of cufflinks, or if you wanted to do S-shaped clasps and make your own, then this is a great gauge to be working with. But also if you want to try out a motif, a great one to practice on as well, because it is nice and sturdy but still has that malleability, and you know you've got loads of it, so it doesn't matter if it messes up, it's fine. You know you're still going to have 95 metres worth left. So £14.95 there for you on that collection. A great deal. I've got something quickly to show you now, which actually would go really nice with the challenge we're going to have a nosy at in a moment with Spelby. This is a collection of your hematite. Bit of blue for Dion. Have a look. This is a wonderful centre drilled rice bead collection of that hematite. Oh, it'd go wonderfully with those pearls we had in the stunning Spelby's first kit today. Now, she sells seashells one. This is your triple trouble collection. They're a delicate 4x3 mil, and they've got so much shine. Hematite, of course, a very ancient gemstone used to awaken those in the afterlife by the likes of the ancient Egyptians. There's so many more little stories and tales about it. It's really interesting. £11.95. We laugh at you. Great price, mind. Great price, mind. But not today for all 3 strands. £6 on the nose, that's the clearance deal. We're getting you ready and raring to go for the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, me and my team will be with you on Saturday. We've got the likes of your precious, precious metals coming in. You've got your white gold coming in for you on that Saturday. We've got more deals coming up in the week as well. We've got, I think, on Sunday too. We're going to have some. So really special for you today. We're just clearing a little bit of extra space, making you a little bit of extra space in the piggy bank department, so you can treat yourself to some of those goodies. And speaking of treating yourself, I'm over here with the wonderful Spellbinding Laura Binding. Hey Spellby, how are you? Yeah.
I'm just cheating a little bit there.
Oh, Spells, I love that.
It's not 100% finished, but we get the idea.
Oh, I think this is gorgeous. We're going to take a picture of this for the Facebook page. That's a thing. Now, I love this design. Oh my gosh, how have you done that in literally 2 and a bit hours? That's
Space,
a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yeah, quite happy with how it turned out. I was going to try and flourish it a bit more, but we, ran out of time.
Time was against us. Isn't that beautiful? With those like roses in the middle.
Yeah, just little roses, and just to keep it simple, so you don't have to do anything complicated.
And that's the great thing about these gemstones, actually. If you have only just tuned in, we brought this trio of the gemstones for you. It was that beautiful kind of cloudy quartz that we brought to you. And you got 3 strands, so you've got a load left.
Yeah.
You've actually only used sort of half a strand, haven't you?
Yeah, if that.
Not even that. Wow. So you've got loads of these ones left. I don't know if we sold out. Oh no, maybe we didn't sell out on that collection. We'll be bringing it on your screen now, but the price point we did was silly. I mean, when you look at this, what kind of price point would you have in mind for that?
Something like that, you would be looking at about £25 to £30, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, easily. Yeah. Oh my goodness, easily. In particular with the work that went into it. I know you're a really fast wire worker, but yeah, £30 easily. But actually, today we brought you those 3 strands at a silly price point for all of them today. It was just £8.95 for you. So a really, really wonderful deal there. 8 mil on those ones. Just sensational. We've had loads of you texting today. It's been lovely. Donna's saying, just beautiful, Laura. Your designs truly are inspirational.
Oh, thank you.
You've done a cracking job today, Spells. Don't get me wrong, you're always very good. But you have today, you've been on a roll, haven't you?
Because I haven't stopped. I'm just keep going.
Yeah, you're just going and going. Louise is saying, frozen, too cold in the shed, just to say some of the bail pliers have plastic covers on one prong. Don't throw it away by mistake. Louise, yeah, good point to make. The ones with the different steps do that, don't they?
Yeah, there's one side that's straight and then one step.
Don't throw it away. Spellbee, as always, I've had a wonderful time. When are you with us next, please?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
On a mid show.
On the mid?
No, I'm not. I'm on a late.
On the late show.
On a late.
And you've got a lot of gems.
Wow, yes. We're doing something special.
A lot of them. Thank you so much for today. We've had loads of messages in for you. It's been fantastic. So thank you very much. And don't forget that Spellbee, you know, do feel free to keep an eye on her Facebook. It's Laura Binding. JM guest design Laura Binding, isn't it? Thank you all for joining us today. If you're about to leave us on Freeview, you better be ready to get involved on Saturday. For everyone else, stay tuned. I'll see you in a bit.
Did you know when you book on a Jewellery Maker workshop, you are given exclusive access to our Jewellery Maker shop? You can browse through special items and offers, be privy to selected discounts and deals that you can't get at any other time. Shop whilst you learn and grab yourself some amazing offers. For more information on workshops and available dates, contact our call centre. There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.